very much, Usu. Ben Abdallah is also live on Outside TV tonight on YouTube. Thank you very much, Ben. Oga T is watching me right now on YouTube. Thank you very much, Oga, for being here tonight. I can also see Owusu Isaac. Nenana is live here. Good evening, Nene. Charity Pokia is watching me tonight. Mawena Adobu is also live on Outside TV on YouTube, on Facebook. I can see Alo Awoni watching me tonight. Darling Boy Mujib is also live here. Kwame Ibn is live on Outside TV. Necessary things, unless it's national issue. Say a national issue, yeah, fine, you get my attention. But say any national issue, yeah, you know, say I don't waste time on unnecessary things. Ain't say conconsabi or town. That's a national issue conconsabi, and then I'm good to go. But any national issue, now some kid stuff, we don't spend time on that. And I'm at to say Parliament LGBTQ plus LLKBMAKM if one asemaba Emma Madam Osla Owusu Efupa and the Parliament will play her video and her statement in Parliament. Very professional. A lot of things expect to say today we are seeing our parliamentarians do. It's quite interesting. But in Drua we will discuss that issue. Yamagana for no Kreno. Letitia Obey, thank you very much for being here. Eric Akon, also thank you very much. YouTube, we are doing 824 likes. Can we do 1K likes? Now, here's started show on YouTube. Can we do 1K likes right now on YouTube? If you are not subscribed to our channel on YouTube, just subscribe so that every time we live, you will get a notification to be Obikasa Domahine issue. I think I will address that issue today. Domahine, all right. And then the concern what town Domahine has spoken as a civilian and also as a citizen. Lots of attacks on Domahine. I will address that issue. KTM on Jimmy Nasa with Jimmy Kakra, and we will discuss KTM on Jimmy. It's very important. Also in Parliament, we will discuss it when we get there. Also, Elias Sepium. The NPP platforms, they are indirectly trying to insult Domahine for pleading with the Attorney General on issues happening in Ghana. It's quite interesting. Now then, Oba TV, so I begin to say Paul Ademotri came on TV to try and denigrate Domahine, all because Domahine was pleading with the Attorney General. And to be very fair with you, Domahine is a learned lawyer, a learned judge, and if today he stands on TV and pleads with the Attorney General, he did not conclude the matter. He wasn't demanding. He pleaded with the Attorney General that was his view. It does not mean he's interfering with the process. But for Paul Ademotri to come on TV to indirectly try and insult Domahine, so we did attempt, and they'll call all NPP platforms, so our Facebook, any radio swap, Domahine and the Omayan Trapiano would attempt or your MPP or your NDC communicator, a mere dirty MPP communicator, meet the TV so can say Domahine your NPP communicator, as Sama Sebio or no, Sani Passan and the Krum to me catch. This is how politics it has brought us. Today, people cannot comment on Ghana's issue because the moment you comment on it and it is not in favor of a MPP, you automatically become an MPC person. Now, Ghana or they indirectly try to malign you or insult you. This is where Kuffour has brought us. It is quite interesting. Say, people who have gone to law school, pass law school, become lawyers and become judges cannot speak on legal issues. It is so disheartening. But some fools on Metro TV said Paul Ademontria, he could not pass law school exams. He wants to criticize Domahine, who is a judge. As I sit here, if Domahine decides to criticize the NDC, I don't care. Whatever he sees and he thinks is right for him to speak about, he has his right, he has his conscience, he can speak on anything. If there's a change in government and he wants to criticize the government of the day, he has the right to do it. He's human, he's Ghanaian, he's paying taxes. So we should not do these things in Ghana. So that kind of stupid analysis, if today any chief in Ghana wants to criticize the NDC government, the question will be asking that chief and they say, is the NDC government in power? If the NDC government is in power, not in power, why are you criticizing it? Have you seen anything wrong with the government in power today? That's the conversation we have. That is why Ghanaians gave the mandate to the NPP. So for fools like Paul Ademontria and some dirty communicators into with the NPP go back to Doma to go and campaign, they will go behind the unhealthy health minister. Would they follow the health minister to Doma to say, Doma for campaign time to Yaba, move on Jimmy to Abamaya, are you people going to go back to Doma? NPP for Monsieur so that Jimmy Yados. Are you people going to go back to Doma to go and tell Doma and say, Pacho, your per se, your banner, the campaign number to my na Doma for Sebio Quasia for Sebio Doma for Omoya. Attorney Amudi Omohine because he came to plead with the Attorney General. He did not come to demand, he did not come to insist, or he did not come to tell the Attorney General you need to do this. He came to plead as any Ghanaian that from his view, from where he sits, his personal view, he believes. He did not say, Attorney General, do this. Into more MPP for na mafa social media, radio, suno, makache Ghana for idea destroy Ghana, radio station, especially I can't read you. Nipa miensa NSA Ghana, Ben 9, Kwame Despite, Kwekutin, Kesbin, and I want to me. Sa nipa me and I way, especially Kwekutin and Kwame Despite, ne Kesbin. Sa conform miensa way, and I radio, SA Ghana. Asantimaya and Kosuna, Kwame Despite, Kwekutin, radio will be with the mentality say, radio with the MPP trap power. Sebio, so we are Kwasiakra, Yemfire radio, no more trap power. That's why we are here today. So Ghana's big problem in now is Uncle Foy. Omoni Sikabi and Omoni Dig Ghana, Omoni Dig Ghana problem in our agents Uncle Foy. So they have open radio stations, and the agenda is that make sure MPP didn't Kwasiasemi Kugana Kra. More use to sa platform we emphasis MPP they are sanctified yanti. Ye didn't Kwasiasemi Kra to so come multimedia na kohe. Today we will go into the media, we will go into the portals, we will go into the tabloids, what they did and how they have negatively impacted Ghana's development. I'll come there. Now, Mama Yenyes, Mumia Australia, Ejumano. Yes, that's here now. We are Ahoma, Bicha material, and me, Yamama. The young started Jumano. But Mumia started Jumano, and then we are back to do business in any brava. We are not going to waste time. And I have this message for a few people in Ghana today. And then in Ghana, Ghanaians are Sebio Omonte Ghana. Imagine you almost say they can sit wherever they are sitting to then insult your Mahama. But this is the social media because now when you say watch, when you say lensa, when you say Opel Vectra light, Jamahama Bayadian. Na John be John what is your routine? Bema farm obe 8 years ni. Bema e dey no come almost 8 years ni. Mo body no ejire John ankura esi eye station. Ye parking enwu eguma kwa ekurase. Mo gina wa mo body akwa se ekurase ankura ye de beje nwo. Ye beje nwo akoma kwa me ngo ma me. Mo de dada mpaso abrochire mote ye hufa so bia omoso. Mokotete abrofo dwonso bia na mobede da mpa so a enkwase akeka mahama beden oba baye moni na ayete se opal vector light no moni na sabefo na dwonso eguso mobode pra na insuo nam ho no oba baye moni ni ye etimo amotete UK modede da mompa kankan so a sebio ankofu ikura na etwam na ga so onfa den sanka wanka be wo de Bema mpomfa ne sanka mo no mo bi se mahama be de no ansa ne se John Dramani mahama ne NDC o ba be ye wani ni asiafo mo de se oman ne yebu no mo nton bi na yebu ma mo be kasa ekire mo famous because mo ni se torch ekire mo famous ekire mo kasa mo miama no abrocha metra anka mo tumi bo bra anka mo ni nkenye nie abrocha mo betra ye no senka motumi bobra anka moni na isa kotra dwonso kusura mo beka sa kira mo fie moni no mo fie mo se no anka enye obuta nkwase akwahye mahama be den oba be boni pa no no abeda mahama odi kurikuri aban odi bacha aban odi be boni pa na ya dia tra play mama you no no abeda mu be bia tokro bia wo bia si enti mo kasa se de mo adwene nya dwuma tokro bia dam wo bia esi When I was at the Kurun, when the potty cook up, if I saw men I was so, potty cook off as such as so, almost to Fabi, what did you have and Jimmy? When he said the quarter use a good so, what did I pass why I saw like Tanamakatawini? I pay for Mahama Mahama Bayadang, or by one in ye, or by young one in ye, send about what was at your brute, and I'm one the power become one seven. Say, John Mahama NDC. Omo baba fixing kurase for mweni na ya so dam edem light na makata na mafie mose no san kwase afo nyina begu abrochire o ena ye diga na ho nkoma na mdo butimi ya de air radio yes so ya so butimi no bodamaniti o enti so betiti mu sa bodam for ba because first no na idea ni say oh we dey jaw mo we do be enkurase for omo ye enkurase for ba betitine mo me say John Mahama mo amweni ai tse we no mweni se de kotra dwonso so mweni ai tse de kotra dwonso so mo da wa na esane mo yesi ana esane ka mo nim nya nsane ka ba busa bo Kuffour adon ne se oba ene de na wa ya magana fo abeifo ma mo je se be jamu biem mo je se be so 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 biem me be se ma no betie obia na me ya se ma no betie ni pa ene amanfo bebem be de meni tu no be bi dira when you say open vector and ascona when you say ascona and crasses for the city of Mubiasi, what's that which you have a boat to find in San Camo? My din Mubia didn't Bronia could go for such a because to be told so or took no Johnson. Mutokro Mubiasi. My said to bear a man and more because you're can't dig a number with Jimmy. John Mahama John Mahama o ma mi kurasi na o ti Ghana no busanse hospital be na oko we Kuffour we twesi ba kupo me say we busa fo kurasi fo no mugu Ghana na mo mu hu se mo ye Yakobon we ni se de kotra dwonso so we ni se open cadet light mo busa o mo yare no mo kro bo ba na o mo yare na ka mo se ponche hospital be na mo ko emowa mo de ti abrochira nkwase akeka na mo ka abrochire na amofo na ofu bia so na kwa abrochire tibi fo bia so na kwa abrochire oja na yere ne ma Ghana ofu bia kwa abrochire oja ne ba ko tena Ghana nkofo efa na because muntu bi mo branch mo banti moja mo ba ko ti Ghana na mo ti abrochire di nkwasi asam mama me ye kasi ye ko deti a ye be ko deti no ye kasi ye ko deti a ye be ko deti ama se bi o mo nyina mo be ka dem Facebook na ba mo amoni se thought mo ni se den ko tena dun so One tell them I'm going to asem. One tell them I'm going to join this as a monk who should have passed some more. You do dim about matro. You do dim about pen and paper such a dinner quite about matro. Crassini bar. Was so wrong from say the agent to see so. Pacificasa. Pacificasa. What is correct? See me. Yan Trimamobium. It's very important. All right. We need a dancing. We need a Mr. Lancer. When you Lancer, Mr. Lancer. When you say a coach what you say, Lancer lights for. A Sakikan, Mahama Bayadang, Mahama Bede, our poor fool, what was your name Ghana as well? Alright, you go in medium maybe I make a results. Minya response ameba response ba. Minya response ameba. Minya response ameba. Yan chi ma obia. Minya response ameba. Nana ya abrefo minya nana ya abrefo minya be man. Je owo angel no. So can say okay so radio so the content say to pay no say I can tell a bit. Media do be bia meti. Na me say also no response and no response. Oh so man response. Ma report am. Mo no kan say suya. Mo tete abroche. Mo ni be manda. Abrofo no omo bank eti ma mo no mo na. Mo de da ho na say se so mo message say bo for mo ti mo keka kwase asem. Mo tete abroche na mo keki se suya. Mo keki se suya. Yentumi fa mo nya hwi. Yentumi ne mo twempena. Yentumi ware mo. Most you to me shut out from the papa beer and mother than Pafi, the Quasiatica, my hammer by there. When you say Opel that when you say cadet, Opel cadet, or free. Next time. Alright, now let's move forward. I'm going to address a very important issue. And no FAW, it's a question. MP, your friend, Honorable Alex Blankson. MP for Kuffour constituency. A question na yubusa. A question and a yubusa on Loud Silence TV. Now the question is that MP way Okasoko school a year UCC. Now in one be about Bontine, we want to know. Ombra Bontine be clarify where Kuffour for MP and this for Kuffour munya between press conference and then they fact check will be now, MP with Honorable Alex Blankson say, "Oko UCC and that's why Oko UCC because there's a document that we have intercepted. Where's the document? Okay, this is the document. Now, this document we are not going to say document what the kind and no you have say MP no MP Honorable Blankson oba bontine no be chichim so me and say nyamia yentra anka say wa but from our text no it is you. Now all the way in 2015 I say who can throw be say uko UCC ama nipa bi extra call UCC ekobusa say also uko UCC na UCC no ampa say oba ho anase wa mba ho. This is the letter, the correspondence by Nippon Choko and reply I use the man Nippon. So we want you MP, our Kuffour, just come out and say, oh Kevin Taylor, wait there, and near me, before we just want to know because from our checks, no, it is you. Now let Nippon Choko UCC no Osha caption now say verification of the authenticity of Alex Blankson's BSc Social Science degree. Now, say the party chokoma UCC say, "Our person who say, Alex Blankson na all kind of parliament say, or person who parliamentarian no, who say, am pass oko UCC if you say, or the assured reason we say oko UCC. Simple. Nemetie, me person me judge because I was see many people there. Opportunity. Inti Alex, I am not Alex. Honorable Alex Blankson. We don't want I am not Alex Bia. Now okay letter now, this is what the letter says. It's coming from UCC. Mama Yanshe into honorable. So when him say Urizomea or the call parliament no secretary that say oko UCC ya can catch us say UCC for so okwa. Now say bia nya wo ama yehu ya about 24 hours. It starts now 412. Ochina 412. I'll be here to ask you this question. Now this is what the letter says. It says this. Attention, Nicholas Isando. In Tiabia, Nippon Choko, a friend Nicholas Isando. In fact, Research and Elections Officer, New Patriotic Party, Kuffour constituency. In Tijuana constituency for the children that come out UCC. Say UCC for Busa UCC for say. Asimesi say Yanyano, a parliamentary candidate. Now, Ombe Lidi, in the MPP for now and the Bremi. And I'm saying, mankind. Na me nka me musa MP ni say ono ayampa se oko UCC ana wanko it wey MP for the send me wo na me inbox me kom e no e bre me say me musa it here there LPP for omo Kuffour e no say you musa question we It is a letter we reference number there was now. A simple. The reference number no EX32FX vol 10. If it is wrong, UCC, you can come out and also say a letter way it is wrong. We don't want to say your customer to be so. It's Honorable Alex Blankson. Letter now, much a year UCC, a one Kasamo constituency for the friend of a research and elections officer, New Patriotic Party, Kuffour constituency, Kuffour Ashanti region, and Internal Bibusa. Now let us say, Nipa Ochono, your friend of Nicholas Isando, a MPP Nibapa, Okutakad. If you honor with your channel upon our radio so, Angel Woho, a one of the Quasia Semno, Peace F. Quasia Sem Himam, you do, and a Castle, Quaho, Neko, you are not, your problem, yeah, about 24 hours. Now, this is what, because Honorable Bessa Bete in the document, essay open MPA, on the UCC count, no more checking. Letter say, your letter numbered AKFNPPGM01/15 on the above subject refers. Almost said, our records do not indicate that Mr. Alex Blankson was ever a student of this university. A UCC for one with the no Muki and Yame. So, Honorable Alex, UCC for say, let them become Muslim Mushisha Munkrati Muno. Kratabia, you are chess over UCC. Now, second paragraph, let's say, our records do not indicate that Mr. Alex Blankson was ever a student of this university. The certificate numbered 071187 submitted by Mr. Blankson was in fact issued to one Mr. George Reiter. Mr. George Reiter, a past student of the University of Cape Coast who completed his program of study, Bachelor of Arts, that's Economics, on the 22nd of May 2009. University of Cape Coast for actual Tanakoma MPP for research leader. Okay, say certificate now, Mr. Blankson, Honorable Blankson Yamamono. What number now was number no 071187 no. And Mr. Blankson and India, yan crate mono a papa be a friend of Mr. George Reiter. Or no nan crata and India, or no certificates in India. Sa papa no kra o school no 22nd May 2009. Into Mr. Blankson die. A University of Cape Coast. Ye didn't to quantum pie, ye nimmo da. A Mr. Reiter, ne crata no de abemamu say, a crata or the University of Cape Coast. They say, Honorable, I'm giving you the opportunity to respond. And then I'm sure let come UCC. The research and elections officer, the Nicholas Isando, MPP ni. Oko Asiawa, last paragraph no. Say that. We should be grateful if Mr. Blankson is arrested to assist with investigations into how he came by the fake certificate. UCC for say, and Kabel would say, Mr. Blankson, Honorable Blankson, MP for a year, Kuffour no, and I say Kuffour no, and Kiabeson Muse Kwa, police no. Now I bet him, send me a year, Onya certificate, they say, Honorable, into Kwa. Asiawa Deputy Registrar Academic on the sign here Latif near the edition or Unyame. Enti Honorable, my never picture to her. Na yes, so Honorable. Ya pese busa oko UCC and now uncle UCC. Certificate now the coach say party for research for letter come UCC. UCC can say enya wodia na Mr. Reiter bi dia no. Sebio eyedokra na enya dokra. UCC for say yama police in so pa na bet chim adikudientia unya certificate. Mr. Honorable Alex Blankson, MP for Kuffour constituency, Ashanti region. Mini anoma Ashanti for ya one to mano. It when you try, you need to one opportunity to when you to say And he's supposed to follow Koya and I like Wapa. It's Yamia. Mr. S is the piece of what you be. You're starting show, no, be changed, and you'll be one side. Alright, team, nothing. It's Mr. Blanson. Or trying to put two men on Ziampe one, baby, they're not going to be seven. What you if he says one, but you watch now, we need you. Honorable. Ochina, Mesaba. Thank you very much, Honorable. Alright. Now, then with two and I say, Combra. Okay, what do you mean? Honorable, I was have a picture to so. Yes, see, I got a letter free or when people for that research 2015. Yes, I will UCC. But serious, I will UCC and I want to UCC. Science certificate now, the quarter of party for almost say, Omakobusa, yes, I will UCC and not the parliament. Bra, never church, maintains what is our parliament that put it on our yeah. And Kwasi Assembly, of course, I was supporting. And Kwasi Assembly, of course, our parliament, I'll teach you, yeah, before, and this is for the way to me. Bra, oh, bra, honorable blanks and bra. But you are not. Oh. Mr. With the money over the ever. Alright, now, this uncle for which here, show the end. Okay, so, President Granny certificate. Now, honorable this certificate, a problem, better. What the most are from phone number pay. When my from food the Mususa, what the moon be that. Okay, so by measure 1, 2, 3. Yanko Street near taking care of NHIS, National Health Insurance Scheme. If you are Mabeka, a LGBTQ assembly, a Asla Owusu, and a water transport in Parliament. You have the beautiful lines not to. Now National Health Insurance Scheme, the Ghana former friend. Now my team what you say. Now Mumu is saying if it is Siano and some I can't do with no Mujidi and someone GD. And no good money between her. Now, Matisse, a year man, we Mahamudu Baumia, Eba Ashanti region, or be start the campaign no Ashanti region. Now, the Martin say, amount for me say MPs, no, almost support to Baumia if we say, so one support to Baumia, only lose over seats, no. It's an local MPP man, MPP better support to Baumia, and it's not elections, no. You see, enter flag bearer me and send it to MP if you say, so MP no one support to Baumia, who MP the one who will seat. It is a fact. Now, Mate say, Mahamudu Baumia, Eba Ashanti region, a honor over starting a year the campaign. Minia no Ashanti for, maybe we best see a this year. A dream maybe can Ashanti for, Minia no be catch up the Kevin Taylor with Ashanti, me one Ashanti, no one across the Anko. Mena why, some are pointing up Musso, number them and I bought two. You met my car and say, oh, Abomuni Yeshua could not move and see ye. You better to put someone to say, Mahamudu Baumia, I am starting the campaign was Ashanti, Mobu Samuntra, and could get that. Have you people asked yourself why? It's not all starting the campaign was Ashanti, and the campaign, Nipa could you come on and say, why is Baumia starting from a year? Ashanti region, so say you are the witchy or any time or own fear or bed yakano, no more. And I'm so saying, also, some men are no yet saying your master for if you witchy. Anything I said about me, I best start free. Only 16 regions, not Ashanti for the roof into a better man, and I'm so really. I don't say, I'll just say, Jimiana. It's about your campaign. Almost 30 if you are Santimemo, Namini and Santifo, one Santimemo. But we never did not. Mobile question, but again, I'm going to sound. Again, I order back to them. Again, Tina Oba when you some money to me, move me with some. Again, I'm moving to Nassau about me, but taking us a license punching, you could didn't cheat. Maybe some of us have gone by me, more than the chief for 7 years. Again, I'm winning free Baumia and any people. Baumia and Gassa Obama said, I want to start the campaign. A dear pan about Baumia or Yamamu, dear, I'm moving, dear, I'm winning free Baumia or Asante for. The young people delegates, and so we are Nipa. The young people delegates, motor petrol to say any. The young people delegates, Moko hospital to say any. The young people delegates, Sibian Mamma, money and the team. The young people delegate, do so. a MPP delegate, and the IMF, a MPP delegate, a Z hospital Bakukra, a MPP delegate, move free a year, move, when you know what Ghana. It's a question of people, some more MPP delegates, no? Some person you to say any civil, yes, a Ghana, and who say Asante for delegates, and more MPP, we are Kwasiafua. Dear Tina Mubek Naso, Akodiba Obichi, then or Modi and Tiamukodiba Obichi, whatever they say. Tina about nearby Shanty Regional Bedi 1 week or Besiano Macassa. It's when you ask what you are Timu. People some will say, a dear Tina Busha about a Sikanti and as a Sebu, a dear Tina. And I wish about because we have MP4. Never see you. Because the beating also about Bishop about Yakase, Baumia Betinati, it's somebody could yet tell about Yatu. We are so amenable. Baumia be the president 7 years. Baumia, as your we see also to Bakubo as a Timmy Mamma. A crime band, the wire was at 8 changes, whatever Kumpamam. Overpasses the wire Kumpamam. Or buy a Muketi and would twist the same thing a mamma. Or buy my brother would say, when you may cost moon down for so, when you may go. No, my yaton on motor about the analysis here at so. A simple question. Do so cost one and the garam say now, a mamukas and motor mamma, Yama Abrasino. Monsas na wasanti mebro galam said wo ana said wo ayekese ada nyekese me pese me hu NDC MPP delegate for me de megimi muna munu nyansa me pese me busa mo se e de nyansa pa na ma mo akoko gina so buko hia ba obia e de me pese me betina bi baka se kwagimi NPP delegate mo wasanti memu asokofo bantemafo eye oboasefo eye mo aboasate me pese me betina aka se kwagimi because we say mo de wonu nyansa mo nkyere ya de kodienti aba omia se oba no mo nyina boko akokyia no de nti na boko hyia ba omia ana mo beko menhyia ko busa menhyia de ba omia ya ma santeman ansa na bako hyia ba omia mo ngina so ne sen ewiase you need to have a purpose ngina so ne de enti mo ma ye wo ngina so no se na ba omia ba ne hu so oh mo ngina so we nti e na mo nyina bo se mo ko hyia ba omia ko to aba ama no we de bi di fem keke Sabaumia and once and to focus over Jimmy. I don't think they can come there again. And never will never shall also oversee overhead number. And yeah, Baumia and a cast over the hospital among. And yeah, Baumia and a Becca will say, a year or no Baumia or bar, one would go as Antimemo, Bibia Becotonti, a young my betting your Masu Betty Petroso, Ubia Begay Jumaya, be percent so. Baumia be Ghana so 7 years, and when you're in now, the one and energy, one cranny a beer. Baumia ana adikudete mwa ko 20 baumia ntini se wabesi toilet abronsan amamo nti mo de ya ane na mo pe wabesi tiefi a eya abronsan nti enu tira mo ko di baumia ti ana eya tire abronsan tiefi ana tiefi abronsan tira ana eya abronsan tiefi tira ana eya toilet storyboard ni ti ana mena mo kasi yesi asokwa edum light mo na mo de MPP ba yo NDC na kofa eya American power ne ba ye ende atama ba santimem mena mo kase yedum light me busa mo say baomia ba no e de na mo gina so de akohia baomia a simple question me mpese e beka se mo gini me mpese e beka se mo ya tribal picot me mpese e beka se mo adwene wo form me mpese e beka se MPP hu se mo ya kwasiafo mo ngina so ne de enyumbe se yedum light no yedum light ni na Accra is in darkness baomia is coming tomorrow o jai Ghana ejuma ne guo na wa ba be di Kumasi 7 days mumbusa mo say o jai Ghana adwumagu no wo teacher ni agimifo a wo se wo ye delegate a ko di ba omi echi no wo betuma ja wo classroom at 7 days we a simple question wo teacher ni na wo betuma ja wo classroom at 7 days say ba omi abanti ono ba omi ari de Ghana hye nsa o so wo jai Ghana na to na wa ba campaign wo soje ni police ni na wo te asantime mu no wo betuma ja wo dwuma to eye 7 days say all the choir campaign ye bisa wo simple because when we can say he's still the vice president government business should go on it me bisa mo teacher for mo asantime mo driver for mo asantime mo aban workers mo pensioners mo ye dwuma 38 years 40 years mo ntuma mesi one day at work Baumia is going to leave his office to come and spend 7 days in Ashanti region which are government business at all abaina yeguno we jat wo and also betra santimemu itimi busa we teacher ni na ochina ɔkyerɛ ba omi aba na akɔdi edi sɛ ɔtwe a wobɛtumi agya wodwuma to 7 days sɛ woyɛ teacher ni because adwuma a woyɛ no ba omi aso the same thing a munyina woyɛ aban adwumafoɔ enti busa wo ho mepɛ sɛ mebusa mempɛ sɛ mebɛka sɛ Kevin Taylor didi obi atam but deɛ wobɛyɛ no na ɛbɛkyerɛ sɛ wogyimi a na wogyimi yɛ ɔbanyansafoɔ ɛbu ne bɛ lighthouse no ɛsɛ gyem asawase light off ɛyɛ Kasoa light off ɛyɛ Accra Central de biribi akɔ ɛyɛ light off no yɛsi beebiaa mate sɛ atim mo si nkɔfoɔ no gyimi yɛsɛ wɔn gyimi na mo so mo gyimi a yɛn nyinaa yɛkum anaa mɛboa na moma yɛnka national health insurance scheme why na ɛde baayɛ na mete sɛ Alan Kodwo Kyerɛmanten ɛyɛ campaign na ne campaign mu no ɔkeka nsɛm Alan Kodwo Kyerɛmanten today Bawumia any MPP for your person with the president no they are trying to abandon the Nana Addo Dankwa Kuffour ship no today obi dis Alan Kyerɛmanten ne Bawumia no especially Alan Kyerɛmanten or kasa or pese Ghana for nyinaa who say Alan Kyerɛmanten who was with Kuffour but not Alan Kyerɛmanten who has been with Kuffour mumientie ni over the weekend no you will say Alan Kodwo Kyerɛmanten campaign na the campaign mu no kan sɛ bebre mu miankɔ ti Alan Kyerɛmanten ye wia na ma kyerɛ ɔde kodie ti a Alan Kodwo Kyerɛmanten especially NPP Kodwo Kyerɛmanten ɔyɛ trofo Alan Kodwo Kyerɛmanten is trying to be a smart politician. He is trying to disassociate himself from Kuffour's madness the same way Bawumia is trying to disassociate himself from Kuffour's madness. Remember Bawumia meka kyerɛ nansen sɛ ɔwɔ no ano vision Kuffour vision ne egyimi for vision and then Alan Kyerɛmanten started meeting delegates or catch delegates they say ɔno deɛ ɔyɛ obi a Kuffour brɛ no mokɔhwɛ ne track record a ɔmpɛ sɛ ɔbɛka anything about Nana Addo Dankwa Kuffour abrɛ a ɔka ho a ɔde ne baayɛ a ɔmabɔ ka 800 billion ato hɔ Alan Kodwo Kyerɛmanten pɛ sɛ ɔuse American strategy to say ɔyɛ deɛ American Muslim ɔnwi preko ɛnso ɔno preko kwan oka free SHS ɔso ɔyɛ na ɛde baayɛ oka sɛ corruption ɔso obi Kuffour Alan Kodwo Kyerɛmanten ne Bawumia ɔka economy pɛ ɔso oh I have my vision ɔka sɛ oh digitization ɔso I am with Kuffour do saa nkwasi selective politics no ɛna de abedu ha nnɛ so they are all American Muslims they all don't eat pork but they all want to do what they want to drink pork soup but me pese me twema adwene ko bibi so mo me enkotie Alan Kodwo Kyerɛmanten over the weekend oshia delegate the kind of things he said na even show adekodie ntia today as we sit here the MPP as a political party they only thrive on lies eye atro any slogan and on the bedu hande Alan Kodwo Kyerɛmanten statement ne wi a me de be kyerɛw ne abebusa ho sɛ and the tia na Alan Kyerɛmanten e de Kuffour hoahoa no ho no ɔmo Kuffour no krampa ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo de Kuffour NHIS ɛyɛ campaign no saa Kuffour no ɔno na de NHIS ne baayɛ ana national health insurance no ɛyɛ Kuffour na de baayɛ nti sɛ MPP for ɛyɛ campaign Kodwo Kyerɛmanten ɛyɛ Bawumia ɛne komini ni sɛ ɔmo aka no so ɔmo yɛ campaign ɔka sɛ yɛne MPP for yɛ papa Kuffour de NHIS baayɛ no mepɛ sɛ mebɛkyerɛ mu sɛ ɛyɛ ɔno na de baayɛ ana ɛnyɛ ɔno na de baayɛ na ɔmo right mpo sɛ ɔmo de bɛyɛ campaign na saa jandam ɛne atoro no is it's about time we stop these criminals from lying to the people adia ɔmo de ayɛ campaign abedu ha no majority of the things that they are talking about sɛ Kuffour na de baayɛ no ɔmo boa ɔbɛkyerɛ how redenomination started here redenomination the basis for redenomination did not make any sense they use redenomination to run away from the economy they have destroyed they use redenomination to steal from us they use redenomination to pack air pressure on the Atamo's government. He came to Ghana at 50. I was able to show you documents to prove that Kuffour is the worst president in the history of Ghana. The same J.A. Kuffour $1.5 million Ekoto change me good come say 50 cents. J.A. Kuffour today as we speak cannot be bold and point anything that he was able to build a monumental project and now say edifice that is benefiting Ghana economically, socially, and politically in Ghana. All 3 points back. The MPP flag bearers to be are all relying on Kuffour's fake achievement. I say fake because an achievement like NHIS. At the end of the show, I'll prove to you why J.A. Kuffour and his administration lied to Ghanaians and took credit they did not deserve. Let's watch Alankole Chamantin. If you are able to us, still watching. With all due respect, extended version.
This was the level of euphoria that greeted the campaign team of the new Patriotic Party's flag bearer Kuffour, Alankole Chamantin, Tuesday, when he toured constituencies with his message at Dromiso, speaking to the teeming crowd at the commencement of his Greater Accra Regional Constituency Delegate Tour in the Apikma West constituency. The MPP flag bearer Kuffour noted the country's current IMF deal could have been avoided if his proposal on the economy were taken serious.
I was one of the senior ministers in Kuffour's administration. I had excellent ideas, and if Ghanaians had listened to me, we wouldn't have gone to the IMF.
To boost the morale of hard-working delegates of the party, he promised to institute a social security and salary structure for all party executives when giving the nod. But some of the delegates doubt his ability to carry out that plan.
So this is Alankole Chamantin, and that was how he began his campaign. Or say, now a senior minister, cabinet minister, El Kuffour ideas are or contribute, you know, say MPP aban wetie ya akeko IMF. Alankole Chamantin say Kuffour aban mu no a senior cabinet minister obo aban no intiane no beso di president sanka MPP aban we Kuffour ado le put di enimu no sanka mutie ono no suggestions e wo cabinet meetings anka current IMF problem e wo min kenkum osaso say or best initiate what you call salary structure. Send your party for no you bet your boka and look at the fan to change and some keka. Now what we need to concentrate on is Alankole Chamantin Baumia campaign, especially Alankole Chamantin's campaign will be it will be centered on J.A. Kuffour's fake legacy. Now the reason why I'm saying fake legacy is to say about 70% of Kuffour's legacy is a lie. It was cooked out of propaganda. And it was all because the tabloids and the media, they helped Kuffour to look like an angel to Ghanaians. Now Alankole Chamantin said, oh no, ideas are what because the experience are not on the Kuffour about 8 years and not a cabinet minister. No, Sanke Kuffour about 19 na akende Kenya IMF. Now sana Alankole Chamantin ka Kuffour about when you call hip call IMF. Alankole Chamantin will experience any bad work, any how incompetent you are, and a time a Kuffour you call IMF and I will review you were in cabinet. In question decision and question you were part of those decisions when they were taking the decision. Alankole Chamantin, you were an integral member of those decisions that were taking those times. So how can you jump and go all the way back to 20 years and say time ana Kuffour no na what the old boy it's na nyama ye ya mama opportunity mama to aso na anka ban we no se nka obutie ufutu a we futu no the same futu na de ma Kuffour ko hip eko IMF ana question na mebusa wo unless Alankole Chamantin e bia asem na wo kan wa won tie ase you don't understand yourself. It is the same as Baobiaka said, or no energy Kuffour about power through his economics symposium and lectures. And the Yabusaba about Ghana's economy, also or digitalization into Mayabusano. We want to ask you a simple question. Sanyan Sana would Kuffour IMF, no, and then the same Yansan and Odiabua Kuffour IMF. So what is so special about you? And the Ghana show was sad. Ghana in any, you can add anything to Ghana. Now, your excellent ideas, no? And then I have one district, one factory, Nana. How many one district, one factories? And I want Ghana, I employ Ghana. Let's go and look at the unemployment ratio in Ghana today. Well, one district, one factory, no? How many Ghanaians have been employed since you got into office? Alankole Chamantin use strategy, and that is what the MPP will be using from today. They are going to go back 20 years. And from 2000, no, they will want to lie to the young Ghanaians, 20 years and above. Start 20 years before, no, only any idea about. So the idea is, and there's a Ghana needed 20 years, they are going to lie to that young Ghanaian said, Kuffour 2000, your 2023, as Alan Chamanti is still taking you back to 2000 to tell you about what happened in 2000. Now the question even is, in 2000, what really happened? Did we go to HEPIC? Did we go to HEPIC? Did we go to IMF? Were you part of the cabinet? Yes. 8 years, yes. So what is so special about you today that you can add to this government? It is the same incompetence that you carried 20 years ago. And now what you have become IMF from. So why would you think, say, we Ghanaians are so dumb to the point whereby Alankole Chamanti 20 years ago, I call IMF now. He is different from Alankole Chamanti 2023, I call IMF. What is the difference here? So they want to adopt a strategy. They know say most of the young people are about 20 years and below, no. They don't have that history. They don't know anything about Kuffour's government. They did not come and meet the truth. So they are going to always go back and say, Kuffour dear, yeah papa Kuffour, dear Kuffour yeah. And so almost say a dear potia Kuffour yeah. All that they are going to say, dear Kuffour ban yeah. Who some say Kuffour ban yeah, dear. So Kuffour dear yeah or exceptional. Until you see their conversation will all be Kuffour's legacy. Kuffour's legacy. When you sit down as a statistician who scrutinizes Kuffour's legacy, you realize that each one of them today wanting to be president, they failed. And when we are talking about somebody who has failed in politics, or what the most opportunities in politics are, Alankole Chamanti, Kuffour part 1, Kuffour part 2, no come. Kuffour part 1, Kuffour part 2. 16 years as cabinet minister. You are now telling us today, say, I didn't want to see that. No. 16 years as a cabinet minister. The two regimes now when leading you as a cabinet minister to IMF. So what is so exceptional about you? Mahmoud Bawumia has led us to IMF. What is so exceptional about him? Because the reason why Ghanaians took mandate from NDC to give to you was because now was Mahama ko IMF and Wapon Wonim Nansa. Today's IMF is even bigger than before. So why should any reasonable person sit here and say you are right to lead? That is why they want to lie to the young ones now with the 20 years now. Oh, 2000, 2023. Yeah, but you made it in there. Yeah, but you sit there, so yeah, but you might end there. Yeah, but you bet my own catch 2023. Now the Kuffour now the Kuffour 19, and then a basso. If I saw a basso, and then I want the Kuffour and the impacted Ghana politically, socially, economically. Tell us one. Into the moment we answer our question, only Kuffour Baino, Kuffour Breno, Mo Bawumia Kuffour Breno, Alankat Kuffour Breno, Mon Candia, Maya, Mone Kuffour ya impacted Ghana. The first thing you say, NHIS, ya papa Kuffour the buyer, Afeni Abidra Samroso. The see an argument by Okachrom say they should tell you what's there. Kuffour administration data and also who say more to me build now Kuffour administration because so Kuffour the health insurance buy. That is the argument. Kuffour ko IMF pay, Kuffour HEPIC pay, na Kuffour the health insurance buy and then the about time to me Kuffour they say ma Ghana for Oko hospital free Kuffour. That would be the only argument left for Kuffour. Now question then they say NHIS national health insurance policy no Kuffour the buy say Kuffour the buy metro say Kuffour so the be in no inchirechim no ebema me hu say MPP for atro and no media bedru hanne and answer you ni Ghana for say be felici be question questions Now, let's go into the NHIS. The question is simple. NHIS. Question will be able to say, Ghana and say, J.A. Kuffour, J.J. Rawlings, why did the NHIS buy? Between these two people, their government, Omunya ruling for 8 years democratically. Why did the NHIS buy? Why did they introduce National Health Insurance Scheme? And I say, health insurance, why did they buy? A conversation at NDC, any MPP, anyone come over MPP, they be an almost cassa, and then on the bomb once for him. Titi mini anama santi for Oko Ashanti region now without anything about NHIS. You make a choice. Oh, yeah, Papa Kuffour na the health insurance buy. You can say Obi na the health insurance buy. On the die, on the dream, on the bomb, nyan support, on the tree, and on the demand we are saying. And the only Ghana for me break a star, MPP for me break a star. Who some say health insurance. Why not the buyer say you have a pack of 4? You have a pack of 4. On my card to Ghana for team. And how were they able to do that? They were able to do that through the tabloid, through the media, through account for radio stations, through lies in politics. Now let me take you back a little bit about Ghana's history. Time of J.J. Rawlings, a democratically elected president and a leader of Ghana. Now, Sojani. Now, when J.J. Rawlings ruled as a military man, a bedroom pepensobi ma J.J. Rawlings jitu mu say, Sebio, Ghana do pepensobia, Yenina Beja to say, a yes soja buying or military rule no. It is no more use to Ghanaians, and that we need to move into the democratic dispensation. I say, I will say, now remember, time of J.J. Rawlings, Ebeti Ghana is not very young. There was this idea be created to Ghana for team, anything to Ghana for anything to we have to say J.J. Rawlings or your military leader no, even when he switches to democratic state, and I say or switches to democracy, say you betuaba a president J.J. Rawlings, he should never be separated from his past. It's when J.J. even at the time and there were a lot of leaders in Africa, military leaders, no. The same time, I know be the pressure say mama need to know. J.J. Rawlings saw the need to say democracy was important to help a country develop. So J.J. Rawlings at that moment, he had all the right to say no. He could have said no. He could have said say penny. He could have said king or better J.J. Rawlings the military rule because the same time now Abacha Nigeria there no so now your other African countries are almost so almost so leaders military leaders, they were all there. J.J. Rawlings would have looked at those people and say no, because we share other places almost so all military leaders me. But J.J. Rawlings at a point said no, the country needed to come together. In the end, na yancho constitution, na yantuaba na mejina dobe wini no o wini a yemfa president manindi. Now J.J. Rawlings winning election 1992 elections. That's the first election in Ghana. Sometime around MPP are contesting in that election. Not MPP new home. But remember, the people who were contesting J.J. Rawlings in opposition, their children and their grandchildren, the people who contested Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, those were the people who had gone to form the NLA, the GCPP. They were in a system, but because those people had not come together, they were still in the wilderness trying to devise a strategy to clamp down J.J. Rawlings trying to move into democracy. In 1992, you saw say NPP wasn't born yet because they themselves, some NPP, they were divided. There were different factions who did not have a clear focus what they wanted to form or the ideology they wanted to put together behind the one political party. In 1992, J.J. Rawlings contested other political parties. The NPP wasn't born. Now, when J.J. Rawlings won the elections, in the history of Ghana politics, President was struggle in his 8-year term, J.J. Rawlings, and I'm talking about a democratic president that was struggle The reason was that time J.J. Rawlings win elections, all the people who had issues with J.J. Rawlings, journalists, the Kuffours, Kuffour, newspaper, the statesman, the tabloids, all those people started printing or writing things about J.J. Rawlings. Even though J.J. Rawlings had moved from a military rule to a democratically elected rule, and say he's a president, they were still throwing red meat into the system. It is a majority of the Western media, they still saw J.J. Rawlings as a military leader. The NPP people who were able to move out of the country to settle in the UK, to settle in Europe, to settle in America, their work was simple. Every day to be writing articles and making sure that J.J. Rawlings, who has been elected as a president, democratically elected president of Ghana, they painted a picture to the Western world, say, even though JJ in front of your eyes, he has been elected democratically, but when you go to Ghana, he is still a junta, he is still a military ruler. So when they started doing that, and internally and outside, you saw people like Kuffour, the Chronicles newspaper, there were a lot of those people in the system. They were still polluting the system inside and polluting the system outside. Now, it was not difficult for J.J. Rawlings to fight these things because those times, the Western world, they were relying on the media to assess governments. So you realize in 1992, time J.J. Rawlings was president, it was so difficult for J.J. Rawlings to secure loans. He sometimes traveled out, but the most difficult thing for him was to secure loans to support Ghana's economy. If we say the Westerners and the Americans, they saw Rawlings as a military ruler because the things they were reading, from the Kuffour and the NPP, they were writing articles to let it look like, even though you see Ghana as a democratic country, when you go to Ghana, people are still pulling guns and killing people in their homes. J.J. Rawlings was stifling people. J.J. Rawlings was killing people every day. So it became difficult for the J.J. Rawlings administration to do what? To go out there and seek support. Remember, 1979 to 1983-84, that was the most difficult part in Ghana's history. From 79 to 1990, it was the most difficult time in Ghana's history because that time, Ghana did not get any kind of support from outside. So everything that was running this country was internally generated. Until JJ became president, it became more tougher because now Ghanaians were expecting a lot from J.J. Rawlings. You are now a president. We see you go to Washington, you see American president, you go to the UK, you meet the Queen, you go to Belgium. They are seeing him go out, but J.J. Rawlings always came home with no money. The reason or support, the reason was that the Western world were not willing to give J.J. Rawlings support because of the tabloid coverage they were seeing. Now NPP4, more Britain, more Germany, more UK, more America, they were letting the Westerners believe, say, even though the guy has been president for a year, 2, 3, 4, democratically, he is not democratic. So JJ, they don't know what to do. JJ struggled to put Ghana's economy together. The same time, we saw Kuffour, we saw these chronicles, we saw these newspapers every single day. The reportage on the president of the republic and the government was bad. If I'm an economist, if I'm an investor, if I am IMF, if I am World Bank, I will never put my money in a country whereby its own tabloids, its own journalists are telling the world that this country, you see it as a democratic country, but it is not. And what makes it more easy for people to believe that is because JJ Rawlings, the background, no, not a military background, even though he has sincerely decided to open up a democracy for all of us to join, no, his background as a military man, no, it was easy for people to malign Rawlings that he has not fully given again power. He has not fully allowed democracy to roll in Ghana. Those people who were maligning Rawlings and not Mugu Rawlings in person, their story was making more sense to the Westerners than the people in Ghana who were basically living in Ghana. They elected a president. They went to vote. Nobody died. They were doing their jobs. Nothing was happening. But the people in the country, those who had access to writing stories and reporting, they were reporting a different thing. It's now about food. Say, how do we help this country? And remember, in the 80s, majority of the news were got from, you got your majority of the news from the tabloids, from the news, from the articles people wrote. So you saw the influx of articles, people writing things, reporting things. Rawlings was frustrated, and no one a copy said Rawlings introduced VAT. Remember, that was the same time JJ Rawlings was doing the rural electrification project. Obie Ghana mu wabeto akosombo opese sesi Ghana no emubie population ekosro nipa bebre artisans abakro nim amanfo start ko technical school omo pensa na djuma omo wie omo pese omo start omo djuma omo Nhis ka omo hia ban support omo hia lights and sana o develop in Krono. He wanted to expand or send electricity in the country everywhere. He needed money. Remember, last Megachiramo, Doomsaw was there then. Remember, Doomsaw started before Rawlings. That was how Rawlings ended up building the Abuati plant. Remember, JJ Rawlings, yes or no, he was not getting support from outside because our media, the Kwekubakos, the Chronicles, the Ghanaian Statesman, the NPP media, home and away, those who got the opportunity to go stay outside Ghana, their job was that write articles, publish them, let the articles flow, let the white people read it, let them believe that Rawlings has not given the military rule. He's a dictator. He is not a democratic leader. So Rawlings was torn between help your people or do what? That was when JJ Rawlings introduced the V8. JJ Rawlings introduced the V8, he needed an extra money to help do what? To help build the nation. Because now majority of our revenue was going to be generated from Ghana. The same people who are saying Rawlings is a dictator, because his background is a military background, they are the same people who got on the streets to demonstrate to say Kumipreko. So around 95 there, JJ Rawlings introduced VAT, and the idea of the VAT was to expand Ghana. Priority was to expand electricity and healthcare. Two things. The priority of JJ Rawlings, the introduction of value-added tax, it was to expand Ghana. Now, economy-wise, he wanted to expand the economy through health and also through energy. So he was forced to do what? Add VAT. That is where the Elizabeth Ohene, Kuffour, those people came out, because that time Nana Omode NPP Naba, and the agenda was that after JJ Rawlings, we have to take over. So whatever we would do to clamp him outside and suffocate him home, we have to do it. So they clamped Rawlings outside. He couldn't get access to funds, and back home they suffocated him with Kumipreko. So Rawlings was stuck. But JJ Rawlings was still focused. And anytime sometimes we have video to say Rawlings was speaking,
serving head of state. Look at how long my supposed people or in the federal region have suffered. Is it that only recently? Where does it even to start? So please, ladies and gentlemen, have no fears. We're not here doing ethnic politics or of Rawlings. We are prioritizing things. I mean, all the poison that's trying to spread amongst our Ashanti brothers and sisters against Rawlings, that's not going to turn me against them. They've been doing this a long time ago. But we went ahead and did what we had to do. I'm not going to listen to the utterances or the insults or poisonous elements and you to turn me against or turn my back against my own people. It's not the majority of the people who share this view.
So he started getting frustrated. The same time Rawlings was trying to expand Ghana, there were some people in Ghana, almost kuta ideology, and I'm going to be specific. Were against Rawlings, but out of frustration was telling Ghanaians he did not come for a specific tribe or a group. He was even saying in the video, said, "Me and Kassapi Kroma una for example, they have a problem with me because they expect to say, BBA maybe the president can say about, but that is not the thing." And Osaka said, even I can phone crowd and no one in that dream say, maybe any Pabonini and I said, Sebio, they think like tribal bigots. So he was there to work for the people. So now Rawlings was stuck. He didn't know what to do. And at the same time, these people were saying that Rawlings should leave power, they want to come and rule. Now, before J.J. Rawlings left power, something happened. I'm reading article which show. Now, I will show you when they talk about NHIS. Why did they buy it? How did it start? Was it even there before Rawlings left power? Was it Kuffour who basically introduced National Health Insurance Scheme? Maybe a connection. No, I want you to understand. MPP, this is the last thing they want to rely on to lie to Ghanaians. Say Kuffour ne de NHIS buy and a free day. Maybe show where the technique day maybe actually free. Now, when you read this article, this is what you see. It was published on Ghana Web, and this is 2009. And what was this story about? I said Kwame Nkrumah was hardly to be envied as leader of the first African government in 1951. He inherited a health service that was, according to medical historian Stephen Adai, curative oriented, favored the south of the country, could handle about 20% of the population whose organization was clearly outdated and which has a grossly inadequate medical staff consisting mostly of European doctors and small cadre of auxiliary medical staff. Time of Kwame Nkrumah ebaye na Ghana health system no ade obey inherit no na majority no na obi besie na ayabrofo enekuta Ghana health system. Na majority of the people are omadwene a entire health system echi ye pomudin echi no na basically foreigners. It Kwame Nkrumah ebe inherit no, he had to find a way to let the health system again suit the people. It is a Oko Enima. That's what the article says. It says by 1951, only 3 health centers existed in all of rural Gold Coast, with preventive medicine virtually non-existent. Almost in 1951, now over Ghana, there were only 3 health facilities. This is all the way back in 1951. Now there were 3 major health facilities for Ghana. The whole Ghana, 1951, there were only 3 health facilities. That is what Kwame Nkrumah inherited. Now Nkrumah says Nkrumah thus accepted the proposal of the Mode Commission of 1952 to expand the health centers and the medical field units as the most practical way of addressing the health needs of the people. In 1951, Nkrumah 1952, and I just said you tackle the problem. 1952, Kwame Nkrumah decided to tackle the problem. Now, what was the problem he wanted to tackle? He wanted to tackle the health problem, the infrastructure deficit. Because time of by 1951, not health facility centers, no, had 3 in Ghana. I stand here, so other factor, you can bring it. That's why with me, we do our research before we come to speak. Now, he goes on to say this. By 1960, the Nkrumah government had increased the number of health centers to 23, with an additional 23 under construction. So from 1952 to 1960, that is 8 years now on the 20 more hospitals. Hospitals are and 23 more were under construction. So in a space of bare 10 years, now Kwame Nkrumah was working on about 46 hospitals nationwide. 46 medical centers, big and small, nationwide. Remember, 51, he came to meet just 3. Now, when you read the history, these centers provided health education, treated minor ailments, and referred major conditions to the nearest district hospitals while enjoying a weekly visit from a medical officer. It's not some hospitals are coming. All that they were doing is they were treating illness, they were treating some kind of sicknesses. They refer to district hospitals. Now, so in addition, in a system reminiscent of modern day ship's compound, this is what the person writing the story telling you. Also, in addition, a system reminiscent of modern day ship compound, they had a midwife, a sanitary inspector, and a nurse. Kwame Nkrumah hospitals are bare 46 within a space of 10 years. Or start to say he's putting together. No, it looked more like a ship compound kind of hospital setup. Now midwife for her, near a inspector, a health inspector, and they were scattered all across the nation. District hospitals, polyclinics. So it basically looked more like ship compound, whereby when you need real help and I say medical emergency, we will transfer you to the bigger hospitals for medical attention. But the minor illnesses, those ones, there were a lot of those ones around the system. Now you want midwife for one. Oba enyim ewo kwada so a obetuma ko akwaji awo. Oba did not need to go to Kuffour. So Nkrumah made sure say there was this systematic progress in building our health facilities. He wanted to try and make sure say not all illness. He didn't want to put pressure on the little existing facilities, but referring everybody to one general hospital. So he did what? He tried to loosen it up by building a lot of district and I say a cheap compound like hospitals around. Send a midwife for you can go around there. You don't need to go to Kolebu, you don't need to go to Kuffour. So that was the idea. Kwame Nkrumah used to spreading a lot of health facilities around the nation. Now this is what he says. By 1960, Kwame Nkrumah had created doctor-led health teams with jurisdiction over these centers. By 1960, now we creating what we call doctor health-led teams. Now they assign doctors to specific places. So now he's expanding the health in Ghana. So technically he has built the facilities and now he's now sending the resource, and the resource are the doctors to provide the care. He's basically expanding the health of Ghana. When you read a story, okay, Mr. S, you want me to speak on this, right? Okay, I'll do that. It's a good one you sent. I'll talk on that. Now, story in this one. This is what it says. And I'm not. This is the editorial. And one here, there are a lot of stories, but take your time. Now, by 1961, it was indisputable that the Nkrumah government commitment to a major health reform was total, with no direct out-of-pocket payment. By 1961, it was indisputable that the Nkrumah government commitment to a major health reform was total. By 1961, now if we will be able to say Kwame Nkrumah agenda, an agenda was towards expanding a health delivery in Ghana. Now Cohen was saying, with no direct out-of-pocket payment at that point of service, with no direct out-of-pocket payment at the point of service delivery, health was financed entirely through government tax revenue. Almost said by 1961, na obiara ni Ghana oyi ne bottom sika de kɔ hospital na sɛ wokɔ hospital a ɛyɛ aban ɛna yɛ den taking care of hospital bills ɛna yɛ de adeɛ 1961 na Ghana ni bia ni Ghana oyi ne bottom sika 1961 na Ghana ni bia ni Ghana oyi ne bottom sika kɔ hospital etua that time no na every Ghanaian obeko hospital bia no every single healthcare obenya bia no the government of Ghana was paying, so there was nothing like cash and carry. It was all government funded, and basically that was health insurance. So abayin and etia or healthcare otia eya owapodin a friend government taking care of your health, and that is your health insurance. In Kwame Nkrumah in 1961 health insurance existed. There was no other facts in Uncle Fambra. In 1961 there was health insurance because in 61 Kwame Nkrumah hospitals are or sending doctors around the nation or see things like the chip compound like kind of hospitals in Ghana. Nobody was paying money at hospitals. Every single Ghanaian was going to hospital for free if you send a buying a year from your taxes. I don't know why people are saying there's no sound on TV, but there's sound on TV, please. Now, this is what he says. Dr. Bachot and taxed. Nkrumah engaged the services of an Israeli. Dr. Bachot saw and appreciated the agency, the 40% population increase from 4.8 million to million in 1948, a threefold increase in urbanization in the three major cities and increased demand for modern medical care resulting in overcrowded OPDs. Bachot's plan had three major underpinnings, that is, a rural health service integrated into a system of health facilities, a country-wide hospital plan, and a training program for medical and paramedical personnel. There was this doctor over Israel. Now a friend Dr. Bachot was studying Nkrumah and was studying Ghana population. Who said Nkrumah they are here. Now the one said from 1948 na Ghana population emubie na eye kese into ono as a doctor who said Nkrumah needed some help, and that help was that he was supposed to find a way to sustain this health insurance free. If you say that time population is also nipa na ewo nipa so nya health insurance free aban na etua taxes eba no so also. They needed to put a plan in place to make sure say ebia obi ho na oye adwuma or a doctor obetime tua ono ano den the healthcare. Why is that person to under that free healthcare? Ebia obi ho a soldier they pay back every month and then nipa no so e was free healthcare aban tua. So doctor will say no, he needs to go back there and help Nkrumah to try and find a way ometuma segregate and I say ometumi demarcate sene be ya omo vulnerable pa no omo sebio yabuburo atitire omo na nka bia health insurance also cover omo nanso omo kakra wo nsema bia busumi bia abanti omo ka no omo so another strategy bia omo betua and also contribution to health insurance. It's doctor no oba Ghana on Nkrumah dinkomo, and the plan na three major plans. Plan ni nyina say also first one no omo we say urbanization, an increase in urbanization. Na cities no na nipa na edoso, because from that time no 1960 61 62 no na Ghana ni bie na nipa bebre free kurase eba Kumasi, bebre free kurase eba Nkran, bebre eba Sunyane, bebre Kotakrade. It almost said the urban areas were getting populated and people were accessing healthcare a lot, so they needed to do something about it. They needed to take action. Into doctor no ebe Nkrumah and also no, there are three programs here between. Even though we have health insurance for free for everybody, where it is getting to, if you don't take care, it will break your economy. And the moment the people want more free healthcare, they could do pension, they will rise up against you because they have been used to that free healthcare. So start to draw a planner. They will begin to understand the say Sebio, oh yeah, Ghana near, and yet Chinchina said, also have free healthcare. So yeah, Juma, you should be able to contribute through other places. Into Dr. Nebano say, one, they were supposed to check urbanization, the increase in urbanization. Nipane dosu okru. Second, the demand for modern medical equipment, and also very, very important, because the more people are coming into the system, the more complicated the sicknesses are getting. Now, what you need to do is you need to have better facilities. So one, you need to also invest in the health facilities. You cannot give health insurance without investing in health facilities. There's pressure on the little facility you have. So the primary thing is that also we have facilities. When there's enough facilities, there won't be pressure on the facilities. People will be able to access health insurance free. Because remember, those times 1961, health insurance and the Kwame Nkrumah, every Ghanaian, not Ghana Libya Eco Hospital free. You know what I'm talking about. Make some NHIS will be free by it help before the platform say Kuffour and the buy I'm going to engineer. Me church you send a buyer you do you will now understand I could get MPP by way on your Kuffour. Alankas platform say Kuffour and I but never just say Kuffour they are lying to you. Now the third one was that a countrywide hospital plan and a training program for medical and paramedical personnel. And a doctor suggested say, you will need a lot of medical personnel. Okay, in Kruma time, and I get Ghana for the Boko Cuba. And I say Cuba, the exodus of Ghanaians through the Kwame Nkrumah era. Kwame Nkrumah had a very good relationship with Fidel Castro. So there were a lot of Ghanaians who were taken to Cuba to go and learn medical stuff to come back to Ghana. That was when Nkrumah exhausted that opportunity. Into whom we said a lot of Ghanaians were being taken out of Ghana. The government sponsored them through scholarships to go out there and learn. The idea in said, one, you control population. Two, you make sure you have enough facilities to hold the population. And three, get the expertise to hold it. Without these three things, you can never run a clean health insurance scheme. These were the three pillars that this Israeli doctor introduced to Kwame Nkrumah. So how is Nkrumah going to make this possible? As we speak, he has been able to build about 40 hospitals. Majority of them are polyclinics and mini hospitals. Now, Nkrumah needs to tackle the problem itself. And the problem is the health insurance. Now see, by 1961, the government had built, by 1961, the government of Kwame Nkrumah had built 7 training schools and hostels for nurses. By 1961, now Kwame Nkrumah has 7 training colleges, nursing training colleges for nurses and trained teachers. What will make Kwame Nkrumah build 7 training colleges? It is because he wanted to sustain the National Health Insurance Scheme. Remember, 3 pillars and Nkrumah Gina, so a control or the increase in urbanization. Ghana population. Secondly, now we expand the facilities. So that he needed the brains, so he had to invest in the human resource. So in 1961, now Nkrumah has 7 training schools and hostels for nurses. Modernized 9 hospitals. He had moved 9 hospitals from district to regional. He's investing in what? Kwame Nkrumah is investing in human capital and investing in the facility. All because he wanted to give Ghanaians good health care. He wanted the national health insurance to be sustained. But at the point, he made sure that free it did not cut across, because that was going to drain the government fully. Until they were now going to look at people now here, with me, I go through private to go and be on the health insurance. With Juma Ben now here, Nkrumah was looking at that the same time building the hospitals. So he was basically killing 3 birds with 1 stone. Make sure the genesis of NHIS. Remember, if we get TV sota and down, say Kuffour the day National Health Insurance by Omobwa. Thank you very much. Now, when you go down there, this is what you see. Modernized 9 hospitals, extended Kolebu, and built a new mental hospital at Ankafo plus 100 bungalows. He expanded Kolebu. After modernizing about 7 hospitals, he expanded Kolebu. And what did he do? He built the mental hospital, Ankafo, and then 100 bungalows for people who will be doing what? Will be working at Ankafo. You want free healthcare? Now you need to make sure you have the facility to hold the free healthcare. You cannot hold just a national health insurance card and get access to health. You can't. You need the human resource and you need the investment. So Kwame Nkrumah, as a visionary, Kwame Nkrumah being smart, he started looking and making sure he's building the foundation to get national health insurance. Perfect. Because 61, na national health insurance na Obiako hospital dia. Kwame Nkrumah na hospital na 3. Obe move to 43. Obe see chip like compound. He said you Muhammad see chip compound that type ni. Polyclinics near they will see the brain. But now it has gotten to the point where he needs to take the problem back at home. Now, when you move forward, what I want to tell you is say, when you fast forward to J.J. Rawlings, when J.J. Rawlings came to power, what was he going to do? He also needed to make sure, say, the national health insurance, at the end of the day, it is not scrapped. Now, this is all that Kwame Nkrumah did. Now, remember, when Kwame Nkrumah left office, Kwame Nkrumah, the first military government led by Kotoka in 66, I think, Kwame Nkrumah, they cancelled health insurance. You know that. Kuffour MPP the moment they took office, health insurance was cancelled. That was when we went to carry cash and carry. So from that space, it was cash and carry. Time Kuffour and then the MPP as if for Kwame Nkrumah, Kuffour do wafamo, Kwame Nkrumah they came to cancel Kwame Nkrumah initiative of free healthcare for the people. That is national health insurance. They cancelled it and then they introduced their what we call cash and carry. MPP Kotoka more buying our mobile and the mobile say and local hospital also be a free because they didn't have the brain to sustain it. Hospital. Sa 3 pillars here now Israeli doctor and the Kwame Nkrumah working with they didn't have that knowledge. So all that they could do was that cancel it. Obia Enkopesi Camera Hospital. So the hardship started. Into our children in 1979. 1979. Into it was cash and carry out to 1979 and J.J. Rawlings came to power. Are you following me? J.J. Rawlings came to power. Now then we come to the J.J. Rawlings problem. Then MPP 4 Kotokanko 4 Kuffour started writing articles and telling Ghanaian and telling the world. Remember, 1992, time I call election, 1993. These were the parties that contested in 93 elections. NDC, 189 seats. NCP, 8 seats. Eagle, 1 seat. Independent, 2 seats. These were the parties that contested the elections 92, 93. So, 93, this was how Parliament looked. You call 1992 elections, this was how Parliament looked. There was no MPP in Parliament. MPP came in after this election. It's J.J. Rawlings, taking over in 1992 coming. Then he started facing the problem because from 79 it has been cash and carry. So Rawlings had to do something. Now remember, J.J. Rawlings could not go outside. J.J. Rawlings could not do what? Could not go outside to the international world. Sorry. J.J. Rawlings could not go to Europe. the Western world to go demand for money because na MPP for we na omri kotoka betu Kwame Nkrumah no almost say health system no they started writing articles that JJ Rawlings or a dictator ma bro for the money ska JJ Rawlings was tight 79 80 81 82 83 Rawlings was tight. So Rawlings was forced at a point when he was elected a democratic leader to introduce what we call value added tax. The moment Rawlings introduced VAT, that was when Kuffour when they hit the streets. The same people who are destroying Rawlings' image outside, not allowing people to give Ghana air money because they say he's still a military ruler. No, these people hit the street and said, "Why do you need value added tax?" That time, JJ Rawlings was about to leave power in 1999. So 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. JJ Rawlings was tight. JJ Rawlings wanted to help his people. JJ Rawlings was trying to do everything. The same time, he was expanding electricity, rural electrification. Now, or the Kanye Kubibia. The same time, Okosi Abuanzi, Kwame Nkrumah si Akosoboda Okoye no. We did not do anything. Military regimes by no. We did not add anything to the power in Ghana. We were using, the population was increasing. Rawlings came in this same situation. JJ Rawlings built the Abuanzi plant. Money wasn't coming from outside. He was generating money from Ghana. So at a point, he started getting frustrated. And what is it? He said he was going to also try and solve this national health issue because he wanted Ghanaians to enjoy what they were enjoying before Kotoka overthrew Kwame Nkrumah. Because he believed in free healthcare, access to free healthcare. So Rawlings started putting things in place to do what? To make sure, say, national health insurance, no. National health insurance, no. National health insurance. Remember, Kwame Nkrumah every swa military taking over, no. JJ Rawlings will be taking over, no. That period, there was nothing going on. It Rawlings at a point decided to take the bull by the horn. What did he do? Now, when you go into the archives, and if anybody thinks what you are showing here is a lie, also what factor fabra, then we move forward. Now look at this. This is a story. In 2017, Alban Bagbin, very controversial. Also, the NHIS is believed to be the brainchild of the New Patriotic Party, but the MP has stated otherwise. Who is the MP? I'm publishing in 2017 say NHIS no the brainchild of Kuffour MPP. But now you're one MPP and the Ghana Parliament are already the oldest when it comes to being in Parliament. Alban Bagbin. Alban Bagbin challenged the NPP and said, no, the NPP is not the brainchild of National Health Insurance Scheme. So Alban Bagbin stood up and said, no, you people cannot sell. You cannot force what is not there to be there. J.A. Kuffour, any MPP, and no one on the free National Health Insurance buy J.J. Rawlings. So through J.J. Rawlings and even before J.J. Rawlings. Now what did Alban Bagbin say? This is what Alban Bagbin said. Ghana's second Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, has said the National Health Insurance Scheme, which is believed to be the brainchild of the New Patriotic Party, began during the era of former President J.J. Rawlings. Is it true? Is it a lie? We are going to check it. We are going to fact check Alban Bagbin. We are going to see that, we are going to check whether Alban Bagbin is lying or Alban Bagbin is telling the truth. I don't think Alban Bagbin wanted to go so further, but Alban Bagbin wanted people to understand that they cannot just move the thing to Kuffour, and that if they really want to credit it in the 1992 Constitution democratic format, then we have to look at it from J.J. Rawlings' time. Because before the Fourth Republic, the Kwame Nkrumah Dems had already initiated and they had already made sure health insurance was free. So how come that J.A. Kuffour comes to power in 2000, then suddenly everybody says J.A. Kuffour the national health insurance by. Somebody said even during the coup, people were still going to the hospitals for free, even during the coup. Now see, he said that the Rawlings administration even piloted the scheme in some districts, but was not able to fully implement the policy because it lost the 2000 elections. Alban Bagbin in 2017 catch Parliament, now such time or a deputy speaker of Parliament, or say J.J. Rawlings Abino, they implemented even free SA national health insurance. After coming command by Kotokamu by Bekebuno, J.J. Bayano, he decided to implement national health insurance free bill. But J.J. Rawlings, Fofia Twata, time almost started initiating, almost started here no lose election 2000. Alban Bagbin as someone can, is it true or it's a lie? Are there evidence to show that J.J. Rawlings administration actually started to implement national health insurance free a bill to say Kwame Nkrumah and some free power, and I said they didn't even think of it? And do we have evidence to prove that J.J. Rawlings administration, the NDC, tried to do that? Now, of course, when I quote, he says this: national health insurance was started during the Rawlings era. A whole secretariat was started. Research was done. There were reports and there were pilot schemes for the national health insurance. Or see, JJ time, national health insurance as I started here. Report was put together. A secretariat was put together. And then a report was put together. A research was done on the national health insurance. Alban Bagbin Obi MPP ni no hwe because Kevin Taylor there obese ma have power. Into Alban Bagbin can so cry. Kevin Taylor would try and make it look true. Okay. Let's wait. Now, Uti Alban Bagbin, he says, we had one in Damango. We had one in Damango and Dodua. We had pilot schemes and some districts even started them before we lost elections in 2000. It was here. And this is also almost started here edge to pilot TV. You guys a pilot here. You started here, Emma, Oko baby, not a year. National health insurance na ekoso ya start cry Ghana for ehu ye ebia obeka sa Alban Bagbin NDC ni is lying. Kevin Taylor obesa mahama be president Chatro J.A. Kuffour the health insurance buy. Now let's go and check the fact and see say asema Alban Bagbin e kano e true and I say get true, and that say Kuffour and the health insurance buy and I say MPP for na account to Ghana for team e Chatro abedruha. Now see this. This is a research paper. Answer remember fact in us to make them. This is a research paper. I didn't write this paper. These are well researched documents. These research documents they are references to this research work. Now ocean research paper where a PMC PubMed Central. Then you can see Ghana's journey towards universal health coverage, the role of the national health insurance scheme. It's a paper you can go on the internet and go read the whole research. It is there. I didn't write this. Now I'm going to show you the source so that you can go there. I'm going to show you the reference so that you can go there yourself and read it. I'm not going to hide anything from you. So you can look at the source. Daniel Dramani Kipo, Sushenzi, Martins Amogri, and Ekweku, and other information and everything there. It is EURJ Investing Health Psycho Edu. You can click on that when just take a screenshot of this and go and search for it. The PMCID is there. The PMID is there. We have the published. It was published in 2019, October 1st. So when you go on PMC PubMed Central, you will find this research there. I didn't do it. Let me show you the references. So open said this research was done and this research is legitimate. Let me show you the references. These are the references. A free year National Health Insurance Framework for Ghana, Ministry of Health, Accra, Ghana, 2004. 2004, one power, Kuffour. These are the references. These are people they spoke to. These are people who gave them the facts when they were doing the research nationwide. These are the people they went to, spoke to, gave them the facts. I didn't write this. So, a FEAK, honestly, a National Health Insurance Framework for Ghana, Ministry of Health, 2004. You can contact him. A Japan IA, reforming health service delivery at district level in Ghana, the perspective of district medical officer. You can look for wedding. So these are all references. When you look out for all these things, you'll find a story. Now, my mentor could enter J.A. Kuffour MPP. Nobody can stand on any platform in Ghana and that can just say Kuffour did NI health insurance by Opwa. Kuffour did something and it's criminal. And I'll expose Kuffour today. Now, when you read the abstracts, it's here seminar. This research, So we'll read it here seminar. This is what it says. And I'm going to read that. The background. Background says this. The main aim of the study at the Kudienti conducting research with Ghana. The main aim of the study is to find if the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, in Ghana is achieving universal health coverage or not. The study gives the trajectories of health policies in Ghana and their implications on long-term health financing. NHIS in Ghana was implemented in 2004 with the aim of increasing subscribers' access to healthcare service and reduce financial barriers to the healthcare. So they said it was introduced. There is a difference between introduce and initiate. There is a difference between somebody at the end of the day starting and you introducing it. So the NHIS, that particular name NHIS was introduced. I will give you the real name of the NHIS before Kuffour came to change the name. Now when you move forward, it says this. The aim was to increase subscribers' access to healthcare service and reduce financial barriers to healthcare. On equity access to healthcare, it addresses two core concerns. One, enrolling particular groups. Two, achieving UHC, universal healthcare for all citizens and persons within legal residence. It utilizes a multi-factor approach to the conceptualization of UC. The research question is Ghana National Health Insurance Scheme on course to deliver or achieve universal health coverage. Now, I am now going to show you the research they did, what they found, and why J.A. Kuffour and the NPP from day one, they have lied to Ghanaians about National Health Insurance Scheme. I've already showed you the link where to go and access all this information. Now, let me read this. Now, Shadia. There are a lot of things here. Now, when you I need to pull this in because there's one information here I need to add before I move on. I don't want to miss anything so that Obibenya advantage to say Kevin did not actually speak on this. So that's why I'm taking my time to let you know every single thing that you need to know. Now, Mr. S. Okay, Mr. S, I think I've seen it. Now, there were some documents that I could not put here. I'm trying to get them on here to show you. Now, when it comes to the National Health Insurance, in the research, this is what they wrote. The first remedy to health inequalities is the establishing of community-based health insurance schemes. That is the CBHIS. Now, from Nkrumah time, from J.J. Rawlings time, this was the original name of National Health Insurance. It was called the Community-Based Health Insurance Scheme. Remember, Dr. Na or Approach Dr. Kwame Nkrumah said they needed 3 pillars to start this health insurance in a way that the government will not be stressed. He made mention of trying to break it down in such a way that whereby people who can pay and people who belong to different categories can be grouped in a way that into the idea of government making it totally free. Those times the revenue the government was making wasn't enough. There was a strategy by the Kuffour administration, which the NDC administration by Rawlings, they wanted to pick. And that idea, so originally, the first remedy to health inequalities is establishing of community-based health insurance scheme. Now referred to CBHIS. The first most successful CBHIS took place in Nkranza in 1992. This is the research paper I'm reading to you. I'm saying the first most successful CBHIS is what? It took place in Nkranza in 1992. In 1992, who was president? It was J.J. Rawlings. That was the first one. So now they were looking at the national health insurance, how to gradually make sure that the national health insurance, it covers at least majority of Ghanaians. Now we are going to categorize it and make sure so obi juma, this one will benefit. So be a opimfua, this one will be the best scheme to be. So be aware. So they started it with the community one, because you cannot, in a pilot basis, you cannot just throw everything in. It is progressive. And there's one thing about the NDC: every time they start to do things or they start to implement a policy or try to move on a policy, they try to do what we call progressively. They progressively introduce it to the people, because if you don't progressively do it, now we had one time what happens is then that particular policy burden free SHS another burden, then you don't get the full potential of the policy. Now when you go for it, it says this: the first most successful CBHIS took place in Nkranza in 1992. The second took place in West Gonja Hospital in Damango in 1996 as initiatives of the Catholic Church. Besides the two, there were CBHSs in the 90s in Ghana. The CBHSs were faced with geographical limitations, since the majority of the Ghanaian population were left out of CBHS. Now, when J.J. Rawlings decided to put this out, they realized if you don't do it on a pilot base and actually look at the geographical settings, because sometimes Ghana baby nipa does baby and Nkrasi population is baby or population is also. If you don't take care, that health insurance now will demand some few group of people who will be having a national health insurance. Remember, that time we did not have a centralized ID card. You can say so put a card we are Ujam Kwanza and Ujam Kra, not so from Kwanza, you can use it. Sometimes nearly be a friend ukuta one unique card here, so the call hospital that's so your boss here, your system now that's so the government was planning something, the same thing Kwame Nkrumah was trying to do, by making sure geographically they are checking how it should be done. Remember, during the same time, J.J. Rawlings was going to Parliament. J.J. Rawlings was speaking. Now, this is a research paper. When you look into the research paper very well, you will see, the national health insurance, original name, which is this, Kuffour just came and put national health insurance on it. And then what he did was, instead of taking his time to make sure, they break down, because the population is rising, to make sure equally the right geographical areas and population numbers, we will look at it well and pilot it to make it smooth. Kuffour just came and said on the national health insurance about now, I make sure the J.J. Rawlings when it comes to national health insurance. When you go into history, this is the first time you are hearing J.J. Rawlings speak on national health insurance, and this was in 1997. Listen, this is the State of the Nation by Jerry John Rawlings in Parliament. It's on record. Anyone can go and look for the document. Did J.J. Rawlings speak on health insurance? Did his government take initiative? Did they take steps to make sure say national health insurance you're sustaining as an free office? Said the Kwame Nkrumah start here, they were about to start it and did they even do anything about it? Was the platform or the basic, and I said the fundamentals, was it put together before Kuffour coming to office? And let's go in there, let me show you. When you read this speech by J.J. Rawlings in 1997 in Parliament, this is Rawlings speaking. Listen, Mr. Speaker, in the year ahead, access to healthcare will be improved by construction of 16 new health centers and 2 polyclinics. Now, I've told you from the beginning, Kwame Nkrumah, when he started thinking about expanding healthcare, he was looking at infrastructure, he was looking at population increase, and he was looking at the human resource. He was looking at doctors, training doctors. Now, this is J.J. Rawlings speaking, 1997, State of the Nation. In a year ahead, access to healthcare will be improved by construction of 16 new health centers and 2 polyclinics, the upgrading of 15 health centers to district hospital status, and the rehabilitation of 52 health centers, 8 polyclinics, 6 regional hospitals, 2 psychiatric hospitals, and 2 teaching hospitals, as well as by more vigorous outreach programs. J.J. Rawlings in 1997, he was telling Ghanaians, say health insurance this is what they have done. You have a question me. J.J. Rawlings 1997, he was telling Parliament, we were thinking about healthcare of the people, but you cannot just give them a card and say you're giving them healthcare. You need to make sure the basics are right. Into General Parliament can say 2 polyclinics, 16 health centers, upgrading of 15 health facilities to district hospitals. He did what? Rehabilitation of 52 health centers, 8 polyclinics, 6 regional hospitals, 2 psychiatric hospitals, 2 teaching hospitals. He built all these things because you cannot implement health insurance without the facility. So Kuffour the health insurance, but Mubusa say health insurance or the Bahefa. Na a mouth and answer a dear. Maybe that's our question. Now, when you go, J.J. Rawlings address or say to address the cost of healthcare, the shortcoming in the implementation of the cash and carry system will be addressed systematically. J.J. Rawlings in his speech or see to address the cost of healthcare, the shortcomings in the implementation of the cash and carry system will be addressed systematically, and free service will be further extended to include the aged and the pregnant woman or the pregnant woman. Or see, a married woman, so I make sure say, a cash and carry nana Kwame Nkrumah Peninsula, you two amount for health insurance. Dear, I'm going to make sure say, cash and carry a local hospital no akotuano en kakran obube yefiwo se ne beya yempanimfo ene empemfo apemfo ebenya healthcare, but omo ye no en kakran progressively, systematically. Into systematically anything you need to take your time, upgrade hospitals. You can say upgrading hospital or the modern equipment the count. Who see hospitals that you are building from scratch. It's J.J. Rawlings, in making sure say health insurance is perfect, they started sending Ghanaians to Cuba to see another Kwame Nkrumah. J.J. Rawlings also had a very good relationship with Fidel Castro. So you could see that the NDC had an idea. They wanted to continue the Kwame Nkrumah legacy. Progressively, they started touching on the three pillars that the Israeli doctor was telling Kwame Nkrumah now. And the 3 pillars: expand infrastructure, expand human resource, and make sure geographically the implementation is right. 3 pillars. were the words of J.J. Rawlings in Parliament, State of the Nation. What's them? And what's Messi? Now there's a reason in here. Oh yeah, kakra. Oko we never say. We also propose to subsidize service for children under 5 years of age. Now, J.J. Rawlings abane say, almost we nyina no, eye cash and carry na omo ye bibia so be ye free ono. Omo make sure say eye nkwara omo ndi nfie num no obi aka hospital. E was say so better take care also to one Ghana. J.J. Rawlings anka say bibia ye free because building hospitals you need to make sure taxes na out to ya. J.J. Rawlings MPP for say na wabontene ontumi kwa wabontene ko jiska almost like a dictator, but at the same time no he's using the internal revenue to create this opportunity and this investment. Into like I said, in under 5 years no obi am dikapo because every akure one papa ye adwuma until papa betumi tia, so let's subsidize aban befa economy and health insurance. The agent nkokora ne mpedifo pension for any about time omonyam omo ka say almost so no aban be make sure say they have been sorted and yet national health insurance here, you know. But because J.J. Rawlings did not change the name to do national health insurance in J.A. Kuffour MPP by almost Santi, you know, in J.J. Rawlings did Kwame Kuma Obi Anyashi ya papa Kuffour and the NHIS by. Remember, the same time J.J. Rawlings was implementing FQ. Every single child in Ghana should go to school. And then the transmogrifier a bit free SHS. MPP so nobody buy. Minya butra church MPP a scam. Kuffour is the biggest liar in Ghana. Now these are the words of J.J. Rawlings in Parliament 1997. Of course, now say, in the long term, Mr. Speaker, the National Health Insurance Scheme will contribute to resolving the cost of health care. Or say, in the long term, Mr. Speaker, the National Health Insurance Scheme will contribute to resolving the cost of health care. Into the investment J.J. Rawlings was making, he was telling Ghana for say, we will sow the seeds in the future. Ya papa Kuffour on va jema Ghana a media no. Now let's listen to J.J. Rawlings. Also this year, a pilot insurance scheme will be implemented in the Eastern region to test the work done so far. Its performance will be studied, as well as performance of existing rural health insurance scheme already operating in Nkranza and West Gonja district, so that problems can be identified and eliminated before implementation. This is wisdom. Also, many can say Nkranza any ukosema pilot na starting. Ye research it, ye make sure say sign your man with ye ni ko no. Ye make sure say answer ye be full force for national health. E be cover obia totally or painful bia no. Na the nitty-gritties. Enyome bia enjina ye no. Ye make sure say sa research ni nya ansana we can roll out something called the National Health Insurance Scheme. But what we are doing is we are gradually, systematically, progressively. And I'm the baby that down 2000 Kuffour power, me better the way. Kuffour power, me better I did that Kuffour. But now when you go down there, it keeps on. Rawlings says this. Mr. Speaker, other targets for 1997 in the health sector include further increase in the coverage of child immunization. We're 1997 and he's speaking. Targets for 1997 in the health sector include further increase in the coverage of child immunization. That means that child immunization, it was ongoing. Now, the coverage of reproductive health care. The coverage of reproductive health care. And also, NDC by J.J. Rawlings, not abino ejim eyomwejuma. And the elimination of polio, guinea worm, river blindness, yaws, and iodine deficiency as significant public health problems. It was before Rollins' time. Rollins' time, they iodidated salt advert. Kuffour mobile number blown up. Kuffour iodidated salt. Okay. But Rollins' time, that's how you know the government was working towards making sure these things have been eradicated. Where your parliament, if the facts are not there, go there or mention hospitals, polyclinics, regional hospitals. Now, the Ghana Health Service will be established. A regulatory body for herbal medicine will be established, while the central and regional medical stores will be restructured. Or say, the Ghana Health Service will be established. It is NDC for their brains and the National Ghana Health Service by Ghana Health Service now also. NDC for JJ Rawlings, Nankin and the buy. Or say a regulatory body, for herbal medicine, NDC, they believed in herbal medicine. NDC under JJ Rawlings, not Omuchi, herbal medicine criteria. They respected it and they knew that with technology working, including with science, herbal medicine could be another source of medication that Ghana for which we rely on. And he spoke on the central and regional medical stores. And over Ghana, regional and medical stores in Yawam BC. It was during Muhammad's time who said pharmaceutical companies, they have gotten the biggest boost financially in the history of Ghana. So why should anyone sit on any platform to say Kuffour and the NHI is by? I'm sure. There's someone can correct. We was out for Obama said 1999 in Parliament. This is JJ Rawlings' speech. 97 we are going to talk about the sessional address, the president, 14th January 1999. JJ Rawlings' speech. Let's read it. All right, thank you, team. In 1999, implementation of the cost recovery program and exemption policy will be further streamlined to ensure that the adverse effects of patients, especially those seeking emergency care, are minimized and that those in greatest need benefit from the exemption. So, JJ Rawlings' administration, they were looking at making sure, say, the lower part of the ladder. When it comes to real medical help, they will be given the needed attention under this coverage. Emergency, one room Kuffour save Ghana. This is JJ Rawlings 1999 before they left office, and they left a lot of evidence and facts, edifice you can see. To increase the finance base for the health sector, risk sharing scheme will be protected. The concept will be expanded beyond regular health insurance to include various forms of community-based health financing scheme. So the NDC, JJ Rawlings, they were not just looking at the government running health insurance. So they were looking at even privatizing, making sure the private sector is more involved. Remember the pilot, not a missions account. There was one in the north which was being headed by the Catholics. So they were looking at making sure the private sector moves along when it comes to delivering healthcare in Ghana. Because the national healthcare, you cannot do it alone as a government. You need the inclusion of the private sector. I don't know JJ Rawlings catch up 1999. When you go there, he says this. With the governing council of the Ghana Health Service now in place, we expect to see the health service fully. Let me see if I can see the last one here. I don't know if you added the last one, but let me see. All right. Now, what I'm trying to let you understand, MPP never brought NHIS. J.A. Kuffour boa. So Obiajina platform so neka chira say J.A. Kuffour the National Health Insurance Scheme by the person who asked one question. Now, in 1992, it was called the CBHIS, right? Community-based health insurance scheme. It was expanded. Now you can say health insurance, and your card out the sim and the money health insurance. A day in health insurance. When Kwame Nkrumah was approached, or he approached that Israeli doctor, it should be on three things. The base, the pillar should be on three things. Now, question person Musa Kuffour say, when he came into power and changed the CBHIS into National Health Insurance, the question is, or the National Health Insurance buyer, did he build one hospital to run the National Health Insurance? Was the MPP J.A. Kuffour that is boasting that it brought National Health Insurance, or the National Health Insurance the buyer, a dime hospital and a young run National Health Insurance? It's just slogan. Because when you go into the archives, you will see something like this. When we are talking about hospitals, Sunyani Regional Hospital was built by J.J. Rawlings because he was looking at National Health Insurance and he was looking at the Bronga Half region. Regional Hospital, it can serve the region. J.A. Kuffour did National Health Insurance buy. Now, National Health Insurance or buy, or see hospital buying or cancer and that needed health attention. Whole regional hospital was built by Rawlings. Why did he build the whole regional hospital? Because people around the area, apart from the cluster hospitals, district hospitals, they needed a regional hospital. You cannot implement over America. You cannot have national health insurance without a facility. It all boils down to infrastructure. It's here Papa Kuffour, everything area Kuffour the national health insurance by Kuffour to be see hospital back and the supporting the national health insurance because the national health insurance are young of food. When you go to Cape Coast, you will be afraid of interventing. Cape Coast Regional Hospital, it was built by J.J. Rawlings. Why did he go to the Central? Why did he go to the Bronga Half? Why did he go to the Volta region to build regional hospitals? Ask yourself. Because time and now implementing research. Say you already be the cheap compounds and those polyclinics can handle. But because some sicknesses are going to be huge, they needed facilities that are equipped. And Dr. Buchat Kwame Nkrumah to take the pressure off Kuffour, you need to make sure auxiliary hospitals have been built. You have district hospitals and polyclinics, and that is what Kwame Nkrumah did, and that is what J.J. Rawlings did, and that is what John Mahama Atanos did. What did Kuffour do? Did Kuffour build one hospital in Ghana to implement his so-called national health insurance? Now, when you go to one regional hospital, J.J. went to the north and he went to build a regional hospital. The national health insurance now was on the buyer. He came to print cards and change name. Because Kuffour, they were under the coverage. And J.J. Rawlings said it in Parliament. The pilot was ongoing. So what makes Kuffour's national health insurance so unique? The media, the Akan media, MPP because of propaganda. They don't want us to know the truth. J.J. Rawlings, as we speak, Atanos went to Wa, he built the Wa Regional Hospital. Atanos Mahama, Bolgatanga Regional Hospital, Accra Regional Hospital, Rate Hospital, John Dramani Mahama, John Atanos. We are talking about Ashanti region. We are talking about Sewa, this hospital. It was built by the NDC in the stronghold of the MPP because they wanted healthcare to be a priority to Ghanaians. And this is what a party that thinks does. Let me show you what the NDC, what they have done over the years. Yantra Ghana, we need to change from our old ways. Mr. S, Mr. P, give me that video. And let me show them. Say we are hospital and the NDC almost see. Very dirty people. It's Mibusa Kuffour say, Mr. S, give me the video. Mibusa Kuffour say, or the health insurance about I pay for uncle, uncle one mamienu. I pay for your healthcare free, and I Kuffour the buy. I pay for no more. Now, food woman as hospital. without the facility, without the polyclinics, without the regional hospitals, you cannot implement national health insurance scheme. And this is the same strategy they have brought to free SHS. Hospital NDC SCO Asantimemu.
Joy News checks reveal poor access rules to the hospital and the installation of a power source have been cited as reasons for the delay in putting the hospital into operation. Though the presidential advisor on health, Dr. Anthony Nhis, has assured the road has been awarded on contracts. Nana Aljima has more.
The 250-bed capacity Sewua Hospital is one of 8 hospital projects costing $339 million constructed by Urojet Invest. By capacity, it is the third biggest health facility in the region and expected to ease pressure on the Kuffour Teaching Hospital when fully operational. The Afari Military Hospital, with a 500-bed capacity, will be second largest facility when completed. Physical works on Sewua Hospital have been completed, awaiting provision of power supply and improved access road network. Health Minister Kweku Ajiman Menu, during a visit to the facility, noted the challenges with power and road have delayed the opening of the facility.
We are waiting for a few things. We call them client obligations. The client should bring road to access the facility. The inside the hospital road is part of the contract. But from Sewua town or from the major road to this place is supposed to be done by government. Here is virtually completed. All the equipments are in place. They are not bringing any new thing. They're only waiting for constant, continuous power so that we can run the machines after commissioning testing.
Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Anthony Nhis, speaking on the probe on Joy News, indicated the power supply has been installed, with some work being done on the roads.
Another thing that we need to do in Serbia is a road network to the hospital, so it becomes easy for patients to be carried to the hospital and also come out from the hospital. That one is also being given, the contract has been given out, is being done. So Serbia is practically completed.
Love FM's visit to the hospital using the Prabon Sewua route indicates the road is in a poor shape, dusty and bumpy. Motorists have to navigate their way through the gaping potholes with tact. The widening potholes pose danger to road users.
For
about 4 years now, the road has remained poor. They usually come to grade the road and leave it. The road to the hospital is worse.
It has been over 4 years since drains and bridges were constructed on the stretch, but residents have had their hopes of a tarred road dashed for years. A bridge well constructed in the middle of the road is not utilized fully, as one end of the construction is left uncompleted. A gaping hole was open for the construction of this bridge, but after the work was done, the contractor refused to cover the hole that is left here. Now, even though the bridge is done, only a portion of the bridge can be used by drivers here.
Ebi lighting it, do not do a problem pack say pan, ebi lighting it. Inti you honor say, ebi and we neighbor.
2 weeks ago, an accident nearly happened at the spot. The drivers didn't notice each other. If the bridge was fully done, this wouldn't happen.
Sana the fence, probably can be sober. Japano so
It's not a pleasant one. A decision that at the local
construction of the road itself.
This is a hospital, John Mahama, at almost Asia Santimemu. 7 years. 7 years. Now, catch us all Papa Kuffour the health insurance by the hospital way. Papa Kuffour and a health insurance. Alan Cash could just stage Kuffour health insurance. But we go just stage Kuffour health MPP kwasiafo bia go just stage Kuffour health insurance. Kuffour health insurance no ehine e practice no e na Kuffour ma apemfo etumi wo fa omo wo funu 1999 time na JJ Rawlings Regional Parliament e catch Ghana for say the health insurance we are always making sure say be no na MPP they criticize the National Health Insurance Scheme MPP 1999 Adamu just say Jimmy ana enti yate Ghana no adefo bia na mo boku amadipa no enti yade asantefo na yate wo no ye pemputu kwa ye nyamputu efise nipa bi te wo ene ya ka asamato ye so Kuffour die on the health insurance the health insurance or the buyer Moshe hospital NDC for besi wa santimemu health insurance how they practice no one will be odi hini wa toilet so da one will so be so your hini what go this on the toilet and he fear the hini it is a winning sa he fear the hini no and then among busa Kuffour say on the health insurance by hospital ben you go did wo the guy is a liar the MPP are liars they only come with slogans 1999 JJ Rawlings was screaming let us build this nation we have built schools these people were on the sideline telling Ghana for say they don't want national health insurance. And nipa to Ghana no bekasa no ya kwasia to bi say ada na ohini we ka Ghana wasem ada na papa we ka Ghana kwasia na Ghana echichiri ma nipa bi san kwasia se mo ka che do ma hene no ohini bi de kasa asa ka betima ka kire no every say sa ahemfo no maka no Ghana nda o makoma so omukro okra se no mte ho omote sebio ya ne no e ma na ebon e no buhia enti Ghana problem no when it comes to judiciary security everything no omo person be can be ada ya omo kwasia party na aba 1999 these fools were against health insurance omo buy no make title Kuffour the health insurance aba the health insurance na Kuffour the buy no apemfo na oso omo nya health insurance no mo ma me enum no kowe mo ma me enum Kwame Nkrumah see hospitals bungalows and ka ho otema any eye rich Kuffour the Thomas Asino were you not here my friend the judge just sent me this and I need to read it or say this comes from a judge or say Nkrumah built bungalows in hospitals such as Ridge Hospital so that doctors could return immediately to hospitals without any hindrance to attend to patients in times of emergency. Kuffour and his cronies sold these lands and bungalows to themselves at the Ridge hospitals and relocated the doctors to places like Adenta flats, thus causing unnecessary death to patients due to delays involved as a result of heavy traffic flow from Adenta, for example, to Ridge Hospital to visit their patients. These are nonsense. Hospital Mabedi Ghana so 16 years. Next year, nobody Ghana so 16 years. MPP before. When I want to work, can Kuffour the health insurance buy. We see hospital back up Asantimimu. Hospital will be able to see Asante here yare na e be ko oboso mu bie. E ma ba omi a ochina obeka kwasi asema kire mo. Ni ko mu sirem. JJ Rawlings ni atambo sa kosi hospital ho amo. No, na mo ti Asantimim na eye ma ba omi aba ho ochina no. Se ye njimi ya ni ko mu sirem. The young politician ebebesi regional hospital man adan no want to be sibi na etia na kwasi asem. Now the most important part of this editorial is say these people should be very careful with the NPP. What with this strategy of coming in 2000 Rawlings free power no buy no change national health insurance national health insurance scheme you buy na everybody is another scheme the same strategy and we use it for free SHS. The NDC, Kwame Nkrumah started school progressive education in Ghana. NDC by our mobile progressive education. So, in Kwasiafo we ban on free SHS. Now, John Mahama mo launch free SHS in 2015. 2015, and John Mahama mo taking the blueprint of Kwame Nkrumah and no launching free SHS progressively. Our Ghana. Now Kwasiafo to touch like catch Ghana for say, oh, free SHS no there, omo there, the Mahama here, onya hwe, omo buy am say free SHS now. We so omo say free SHS now, omo kwasia school way. Omo school omo see say ya make free SHS no way. It Kuffour strategy no, and maybe no using it there. When the NDC built, these people come come, change the name, and stupidly use slogans and destroy the nation. When the NDC think through issues, think through matters, do research, sit down and analyze issues, build more schools, the MPP will come and say free SHS, school ban almost see for free SHS. Kwame Nkrumah started free healthcare. He built hospitals, regional hospitals, district hospitals. And I'm going to question to Kwame Nkrumah. Mobile power. JJ Rollins built regional hospitals. Regional hospital ban or Ghana and this MPP to see it. And then Kwasia no. Again, Jimmy at Ghana no. And then Kwasia a hand time no. So Mahama starts free SHS progressively. He launches free SHS. I have for Ghana. In before Ghana, they know that this is the right way. Ye Jiminti, ye tribe Abacha Yakuma, ye Kwasia 40. Niama a Jimmy for the slogan. Well, you know, in this country, when John Dramani Mahama and the NDC launched free SHS,
President cut sword for first batch of senior high schools to be built across the country with a promise that its first occupants will pay no fees in line with his progressive free SHS promise. Another first story, President John Mahama has cut sword for work to begin on the construction of the 50 free senior high schools. He promised his government will build each year of his 4-year term in office. The president at the ceremony at Nyanwa near Adeso, the upper Western district of the Eastern region, told a cheering crowd the first batch of students to be admitted into the school, which he hopes will be completed by August next year, will not pay any fees. Reacting to reports about the source of funding for the proposed progressive free day SHS pledge, the president assured funding will be made available in the 2015 budget.
My Minister of Education was given a job to produce a roadmap for the progressive introduction of free SHS. She has done that job. She has costed it. We don't know how much it's going to cost. And she has presented it to Cabinet. It is my duty as the President of the Republic of Ghana to make the funds available for the free SHS to take off. And I want to inform those who want to know where the money is coming from that they should wait for the presentation of the 2015 budget. If they look in the budget and they don't find allocation for free SHS, then they can raise that issue.
The founder of Progressive People's Party, PPP, Dr. Pakwesi Indo, has meanwhile applauded the decision of President Mahama to roll out free secondary education in the 2015-2016 academic year. He says he is all for the challenge taken up by the president. The president has been sharply criticized by the opposition New Patriotic Party for supposedly stealing its idea when he announced the policy in the State of the Nation address last week, Tuesday, in Parliament. But Dr. Indo, in a statement on Monday, said it does not matter who espoused free first, the free SHS program, explaining that there is nothing wrong with copying ideas. Cross-fertilization is a good natural process and we must encourage it in Ghanaian society. I have always believed that a lot can be achieved if we do not care who takes the credit. According to him, and as a result signaled a change of mind with regard to educating our children. Dr. Indom is therefore hopeful the policy would ensure that Ghanaians and invest in generally in education.
In my 2014 State of the Nation address is very much on course and it started this academic year. Ladies and gentlemen, I now have the singular honor of declaring the progressively free senior high school program duly launched. terms in Ghana in all public senior high schools. And these are examination fees, library fees, entertainment fees, SRC dues, science development fees, science and maths quiz, sports, culture, ICT, and co-curricular fees have all been absorbed by government. In addition, the Ministry of Education has received funds and approval to recruit an additional 9,300 new teachers to staff the new schools that we are commissioning.
We are aware of parents who can financially support their children, and we urge them to continue to do so. And we are also aware of those who even want to support other children. We want to express our gratitude for this very kind and important intervention. We are also aware of parents who wish to support their dependents, but they are honestly unable to do so. This intervention is for them. Generally, the program focuses on easing cost barriers to facilitate access and participation.
This is the NDC 2015. They did everything. John Mahama UBBR, the same way JJ Rod is UBBR, the same way Atamos UBBR. Can you point to one regional hospital like NPP in Ghana? And so Pasibi to us a Kuffour the day a year NHIS buy. A man or the bro on Uncle Hifa. Kuffour the health insurance buy, and he know the buy. Can you point to one senior high schooler, a year senior high schooler NPP in Ghana? Can you point to one major hospital? These people are liars. Mama me and no man some tribe in tea. You don't have to sit there for some crazy individuals who think they are entitled to impose some mentality or ideology on us. Because you'll see a journey. Or Tinaba, we are Corinthians and Timemu. Say we are hospitalists who are mere. Obi refuse or China, Cabot Mabon, the Bayer Pebble, and the Nipo who war a year conference, almost those Nipo Koyoko house match. Nipa omu wo Kuffour chinde no omu dos chain omu omu koke kotokone house match Kuffour be ye the NHIS Kuffour the buy Ozi hospital of Ghana. Kuffour to be see one regional hospital to make sure say national health insurance and the same strategy. Kuffour the NHIS buy we see hospital, we see clinic, we see any major hospital, we try any upgrading. NPP na the free SHS buy omu see school back omu see university back omu see she. So how do you follow such people? It's a party full of ignorant slogan boys. It's just slogan. They don't have the brains to govern. None of these people don't catch Alan Kujocha Manting, but we are going to cut and then I catch Alan, stop campaigning. You don't need to embarrass yourself. When you Kuffour epic, when you Kuffour about epic over there. But we are John or the Kuffour. Only the Kuffour from 2012, Kasa 2008, Kasa on the and then where's the dollar? Baumia is not okay, so we should let Ghana give to you. Now, Mumia Lucrano, Sabio, Montinu Hressia, Nakede Japan, or no one in the end of here. Wo Alan Cash, one Baumia Munieni. Now, Obama gets in there. So, Robin Kusi. You people, even you people trying to run on Kuffour's legacy, you don't see it up. You are failures. How much more the community is behind you? Canada, Japan, a damn now apple. Or to it, the Ghana, we have 1 time, open so quick, where Jimmy, where you nipa. And we still sit in Ghana and we are still getting fools because they are from the UK. Or Babylon and fool Mr. Ankwasi, and I'm a hammer bed day. Or by Joe so good. Obedron so egwu enim abo bi ba mo krom fo na mo tete asante be mo hospital no ko wane si ye obedron so egwu enim na amoamoa so se alumino nkwasiafo ye ka sama jikana na mo di Nhis mo pese be tia mo pese ade papa be ba na obi se o ma impuntu abo be no wonim se embo eye wo kwa nkofo embo bia mo papa Kuffour no MPP for the platform on the TV to say Kuffour na bring NHIS mo person say regional hospital be no see or support NHIS no NHIS no 24 sebio o 24 charge as ne korehwe no NHIS no o 24 charge as ne kono enya hospital ne kono NHIS ne to bat ma hene otwa pon kana say oyi aboy to na boy mu ne ko hwe no enya hospital no wen mama ntira Ghana enso so nsɛmfo we so. Nobody in Ghana today should be telling me say me who may be abeto ma abako. The NDC from day one, they have continuously shown at the Ghana for say mo asɛm ne da o makoma so. Ade na ye Jimmy sa ye ma nipa funu ko hye suit tatan bi ene kasa tatan bi a ye so mo nim nyansa na ye te ho 7 years nyansa na ye te ho. And the whole education minister to be Gina TV so say teacher for any the cause of Ghana's economic problems. The whole deputy education minister now what them how did we get here? And then they want to compare a year a two any concept forward to Professor Nano Pokwacho. I see Jimmy. Now you put them on. Then we are going to compare these kind of clouds, these comedians, these people, these junkies. Then you want to compare these people to Professor Nano Pokwacho, man. And you sit there and you don't understand why some people even want to sit on radio and say and the Kotuma NPP. Wait, a whole education minister who to me be one say teacher for the cause of Ghana's economic wars or say both to wait to me. You don't know your job. And then I heard it say Ghana National Association of Teachers say on show or you say or be apologizing it's uncontrolled on paper. You people should be demanding a sack. You are not supposed to be telling her to write it on paper. And even her response or say, if they feel say that small statement she made, you know, it has offended them, but she's sorry. What put down? Now who this lady? Where was she? And then Ghana forcing the child come and to be who are you? Today the arrogance and the disrespect. I was even pissed with Ghana National Association of Teachers telling her to retract and write it. Write what? Tell her to sack that fool. This is a total disrespect to the educationists in Ghana. She has basically spat in the faces of teachers. Also, teacher for what Jimmy, more and more cause a problem now, and the economic problems. How do teachers cause? How do they cause this problem? How can you even make that analysis? How? No matter the explanation you will give, it does not make sense. So I was expecting the Ghana National Association of Teachers to say we don't want this guy to be our deputy education minister, but rather than the leadership are political. So they will let this ignorant lady work, and they have disrespected teachers over and over, and that's what they do. We sit in Ghana today, or some mouthful, now not bottom, and the IMF deal they went to economic structure. No, it is not going to affect teacher training allowance. See, cheap politics. You hear somebody like Osaf Mafo, I can't say no. We raise the capital in Kuala and I'm not so poor. Since I won 1932, we raise the capital there. Or I want to work. IMF deal there. It did not affect the teacher training allowance. Why are we supposed to be paying teacher training allowance in the first place? Teacher for your term cultural exams. All the teachers who wrote exams in Ghana, they all took teacher training allowance. Is it not causing financial loss to the state? Is it not causing financial loss to the state? And all these people took teacher training allowance. What is the sense in teacher training allowance? What is the sense in it? The teacher training allowance was introduced by J.J. Rawlings because they wanted to entice more people to go into training colleges. Because they needed more people to go out there and teach. People were not interested in training colleges. People thought that when you go to the university, you will make like J.J. Rawlings wanted to instill a lot of practicality in our schools. So instead to entice young Ghanaians, free A-levels, O-level, he wanted to lure a lot of them into training colleges so that we could get people who have been trained, skilled to come and teach, impact lives. So Rawlings brought an incentive. The incentive Rawlings brought, it wasn't a permanent incentive. When you bring an incentive, it is supposed to change a particular thing at a particular time, and when you get the result, the incentive goes away. Incentives or motivation, it is not a permanent thing. If you want to be motivated to win a game, you do a certain thing to win that game. After that motivation is taken away. And it's a black star you see your motivation of 100,000. When you win this match, when you win that match, the 100,000 deal is off. Until when J.J. Rawlings introduced that teacher training allowance, what he was trying to do was he was trying to get a lot of young people to go into teaching, to go into training colleges, so that you have a lot of teachers to teach. Now at a point, we need to understand, we don't need that again, because they have come to understand that teaching is a skill. So you take the incentive away. It didn't form. Teacher training. So the people now feel, the young people now feel that so because school allowance now, so it has become a burden on we, the taxpayer. Teachers sat for exams. How many of them passed? All these people took teacher training allowance. Mahama Kachira will say that incentive should be taken away. It should be swapped. Mahama said he's going to elevate teacher training colleges into university. It is going to be decreed. You people have the same opportunity as university to go and take loan. Because some of you are lazy, you want cheap money. Because MPP for Jimmy and they don't think right into, they always campaign on that teacher training allowance. We are in Ghana today and celebrating a president who has spent $3.5 million on renovating a graveyard. I have no problems. Kwame Nkrumah deserve to have a decent place as his graveyard, but we don't need $3.5 million. And today, some people are all over the place. Kuffour, this is your best legacy. Then Kuffour is a fool who has failed. Because when people were voting for Kuffour, they were not voting for Kuffour because he had to come and renovate a graveyard using $3.5 million to do it. That means the core reason why people vote for him, these fools have failed. It's for Kuffour to sit on TV or on social media to write Kuffour, your legacy of they're renovating. He did not even build. Renovating Nkrumah Mausoleum for $3.5 million. We are Kwasiafo. Nobody hates Kwame Nkrumah, but at this time in our situation, we don't need to spend $3.5 million to go and renovate a graveyard. Are you foolish? Kwame Nkrumah himself, if today he's sitting in Ghana and you tell him that, you say you were a fool. If you think Nkrumah it was all about these things, you think he would have done it for himself? Kwame Nkrumah, why didn't he do such things for his mom? Kwame Nkrumah, but he was a modest man. Jimmy. So today, all over the place, it is a grave legacy. Kuffour, already your buy no, why are there grave? Why are there? People are sitting under trees for spend $3.5 million just to go and paint a building. And the so-called intellectuals, this is not how you build a nation. I've never been against the Nkrumah Mausoleum, and I will never be against it, but it does not deserve $3.5 million. No. Convert $3.5 million into cities. And then again, Jimmy sir, why can't we use our common sense? $3.5 million to do this stupid thing. With all due respect to Nkrumah, but that thing they put there, if Nkrumah was alive, he would tell them, I don't like this. And I saw Nkrumah's children nodding. Jimmy. Your papa, he will be angry about this. Today in Ghana 2023, a man that formed Womensia Hospital, so baby a hospital in Kurati school that say you are happy that you are Nkrumah's daughter and that they have gone to renovate your father's graveyard for $3.5 million.
When they killed him,
what qualifies you to be an
same people killed him.
The other one look at a drug addict, Sekun Nkrumah. I don't want to talk about him. You people have lost your morals. You people have lost your senses. You people are stupid. You these so-called leaders. May Nkrumah back, I'm pissed with this. I will tell you people, my father didn't go out there, come here for people to chase him around, die of cancer. People try to threaten to kill him, set traps for him, for you to come and use $3.5 million. Once when you go to Nkrumah's hometown, people are still sitting on the trees. Where are you dweebs? Are you foolish? You don't know how to build a nation? Where did you people learn you? Where did you people go to that school? Common sense, the way. Who in Ghana voted for Kuffour because of Nkrumah Mausoleum? Who in Ghana, why the two about Kuffour because Atamel's graveyard? Who did that? This shouldn't cost us this. Our priorities are so bad. The more we grow, the more we become foolish. We Ghanaians. The people without morals, why are they? Misplaced priority. We don't know what we want. Do you know what $3.5 million can do? I am all for Nkrumah Mausoleum, but Nkrumah Mausoleum does not deserve $3.5 million. It's a waste of money. Now, the whole government I heard the finance minister saying that Ghana is now looking at tourism to make our GDP about 70%. You are foolish. You can't get that. Let's see. If you hear your finance minister telling you that now Ghana is going to make sure we get about 70% of our GDP from tourism, that is the day I saw Kwasiafo in Nimuso. Can you mention 7, just 5 tourist attractions in Ghana that somebody will fly from another country 2 times in a year to come and see? 5, you don't have. You people are not serious, You people think it's all about OBA GBT's MPP, so let's do this. MPP is a disaster. Now see this. Yekosi Cathedral. The cathedral architect, he has been caught in a scandal which is bigger than Ghana. Yenye Kuffour. Koto and Freeman, they were speaking on it. Alan Kojo said, we just don't need a Christian, we need a Christ-like person. We don't just need a Christian to lead Ghana. We need a Christ. My dream was say Ghana, the Christo for quality. Christo di Papa Ben or Ghana. I mean, say Christo di Papa Ben or Ghana. Yani Bible, Christo for a who qualifies to be a Christian in Ghana. Stop this petty, childish politics. Our politics shouldn't be based on your religious affiliation. It should be based on your intelligence. What Jimmy? How many people, those countries that have developed, do you think they elect people because they're Christians? Or they're Buddhists? Or they're Muslims? They elect people because of their contribution, their intellect, what they can contribute. Jimmy Dodo. We have seen bishops from Presby, Anglican, Roman, raping young kids, sodomizing people. Are they holy? Who is holy on earth? Let us use practical senses to develop this nation. Because if there's no question religion, they destroy the country. Whether a Christian, a Christophonia and a body per 82, Christo di Benakasa. 52 billion Ghana cedis before 2020. A Christo di Benakasa. Cremoni Benakasa. What is the sense in Christosum in Ghana? You people have lost the morals, you have lost the principles. The gospel has left you people. Let us look for people who are intelligent, people who think about health, our security, our future, our economy, people who are practical. Yeah, Jimmy. So you hear Baumia, I am a Muslim, so vote for me. You hear Alankash, I am a true Christian, vote for me. Now who Cremonia with Jimmy da? Who Christonia with Jimmy da? You penyansa for. You smart quantity, you smart yansa for. And we need a wise person to lead. We need somebody who will think about the health of the people. We need somebody who will think about the education of the people. We need somebody who will think about the pensioners in Ghana. Somebody who will think about the militiaman, the policeman, the woman selling on the street who needs a shirt to sit under, the child who needs a school to sit in. We need somebody who can think about Ghana, not a fool who thinks he's a Christian or a Muslim. Now David J. He's in a problem. The cathedral Nipana Obesi Cathedral and Yaman report to you. The Financial Times, the whole world almost said San Nipan Wakotu Bibuna. David J. na Obesi Cathedral I say if you Yankupon. San Nipa David J. no Wakotu Emmanuel Numona, Watu Mumona. Sana story neka. I mean, reading children, I mean, children, what damn, with that. What cathedral now, or Yamin is, Yamia for Bia or cathedral, we can coupon the panel. Monipana or dear Nimna or Drona Osino, Wakotum Mamona. Story, no, per the story. That is what the story is saying. Wakotu Mbabi Mona, and Yajinet, Ujina, Ojina, Simpian, and Busan and Sam. David J. This is the allegations on him now. Maybe King can go for you 6:38, 10:38 in Ghana. Good timing. The next day, no, let me take it from here. That's a story. That's the beginning of the story. Maybe that's it. let me see. I don't think that's the story. I want the beginning of the story, Mr. S. Okay, let me see. Maybe this is the beginning of the story. Maybe I can in that church room. David the day a J now OC National Cathedral. The next day, Maya said a J called. No, that's not the beginning of the story. Mr. S, give me the beginning of the story. There's a problem here. I'll be right back. I need to get the beginning of this story.
During news checks reveal poor access rules to the hospital and the installation of a power source have been cited.
It is the third biggest health facility in the region and expected to ease pressure on the Kuffour Teaching Hospital when fully operational. The Afari Military Hospital, with a 500-bed capacity, will be second largest facility when completed. Physical works on Sewa Hospital have been completed, awaiting provision of power supply and improved access road network. Health Minister Kweku Ajiman Menu, during a visit to the facility, noted the challenges with power and road have delayed the opening of the facility.
We are waiting for a few things. We call them client obligations. The client should bring road to access the facility. The inside the hospital road is part of the contract. But from Sewa town or from the major road to this place is supposed to be done by government. Here is virtually completed. All the equipments are in place. They are not bringing any new thing. They're only waiting for constant, continuous power so that we can run the machines after commissioning testing.
Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Anthony Insiasari, speaking on the probe on Joy News, indicated the power supply has been installed, with some work being done on the roads.
Another thing that we need to do in Serbia is a road network to the hospital, so it becomes easy for patients to be carried to the hospital and also come out from the hospital. That one is also being given, the contract has been given out, is being done. So Serbia is practically completed.
Love FM's visit to the hospital using the Prabon Sewa route indicates the road is in a poor shape, dusty and bumpy. Motorists have to navigate their way through the gaping potholes with tact. The widening potholes pose danger to road users.
For about 4 years now, the road has remained poor. They usually come to greet the road and leave it. The road to the hospital is worse.
Alright, my team just sent me a video and I was saying I should, it's got to do my catch religion no yeah man say Ghana last better catch them kwame tanko I cannot Angel FM no I catch them say sa akamfo radio no sa Angel FM P6 I want to say Ghana P6 FM Angel FM Hello FM sa FM Kesmin sa akamfo no mo say Ghana sa akamfo no San Kuffour no mo second and then mutie Angel FM for Jimmy. In the news, where 2 weeks in it, one. You go by the 2 weeks in it. I'm on bed at them by extension, I'm didn't know what DBB. And I think Nina and and then I went to goalkeeper no, but we've got a prophetic baby son. I went to goalkeeper no, or the number of saves are obeying no. Yeah, I am just inferring this. You're about normal life. Me must spiritual problem. You're power one.
by if you have one mistake I go keep an a topic of the day. And I don't have a can wash it. Omo frame me da, omo test me da, omo and as early as 4 a.m. nobody. My dear Kwame Tanko, nobody is some bombardment. And yet, the warrior himself is here. He calls himself the warrior. And some of you are friend of the warrior. Now with you. Baby, you're free, baby, you're calling, baby, you're doing.
Yeah, I'm also.
Now, where are they?
I'm here to them.
I am quite sure already is watching a crack. And say, oh, to square in now. But I'm going to
I'll rotate him. Free number visit. Quite a moment.
Oh, I'm the papa. I know what.
Yeah, and they say, well, who are you wanting?
I'm going to now. Charisma, where are you?
Yam charisma, where you? My men find Chiakesi and free trade yampon, yankupon, and chain. Emma will be out here, Titu, no, be out here. Na young chia him for a organ if they retire from pong one rate. Yes.
So what's
Oh, mente cram it.
Now, how do you feel? Almost watch them come on, mem.
Yo, thank you. They didn't kind of and pay. You veteran sim. Na depend who baby free. Need you see. Bible say free of suboni Yohani abre subesi embrace so sra ini enimu atototo e fa na de.
And your so.
So. Me ba be kai na me no ye interview na me ni bi prekope na me ka set star so poku no be wi ni.
Yeah.
En me hwe no sunsun so wi ni. Na cha so poku no wi ni ye no. Tenko the first thing I said nanko ye kra. Me didi so oni o wa busuan because na cause be braba amanfo ate a sabi sisa.
Ebi mu kra friend.
Enti sesabi obi abeka asem wonim me kra da na mabekan. E de na na waso ye.
So it's
Otu anamo. Watmi oda ase kra sesabi rade fan so yi wo asem ye de kire mabeka. Fi se me beka no mframa mu no enko a wode sebi eyeye. Tanku mbacha otimase.
Me to ase.
To wie ye no sebi Yesu say mesa akwatafo du yare bet. Sesi am gina ha wonko na aso ani sa wo damase.
Omo aka no we.
Ayebia jani e kan say ayebia to aso. Enti Abraham be kan asem esi ye the first thing I say na nkacha so boku ni yes o hwehwem se bi kro be damase.
Okay yo. We don't cut to aso say omo ama no ka be kan say wo so omo penya mini pe bia wo nam.
Na me ka batanku.
Okay.
Enti wa na ase. One frame cram among them who sempire because be our contest no cram be and I was of free mind be too. Then I said free mind no nipet me a bed no met me a country room say onya una obinya and no stress again me kuku dra na said me see Gina Brand was soon sumampa unya. There be a metra me case election and yet yes ya was and I ain't child myself. Nemom na ono na omuna me ba be ka se crazy no na wasen ko yese even on the 8th se o perform bibi
to anya
obelusu na crazy ni mom one Mr. Francis Enedin kan friend
akọ ekrofo mo ndi ni pabro sama catch them kuma asefo asantefo so nkwasi asem e ko so already so sound bohu say nkwasi adwini bi obeyisu e bona wo say na free wine in the first place wakofa ntuma ko bi eguru kon me da fie be he I observe every Jewish every but me ha yamaka
Akɔfa ntoma gbaguru kɔn so ejiw ni wo yɛ jiw hini akwa wo yɛ kɔnfoɔ ɔsɛ mo kyene di ni paboro wo akɔhyɛ nkɔm na mbemu a wo de wo gyi mi wɔ kasa wo paakyɛw no wo saa ba bɛ divert nsɛm no na when the car prophecy ni kyerɛ wo wo bia wo ani na onyame yi kyerɛ wo no na saa onyankopɔn no wabɔ dam ɛhe bible hi na akɔte sɛ onyankopɔn ka asɛm dane na no ɛhe na akɔte wɔ bible sɛ onyankopɔn ka asɛm a sɛbio ɔka kyerɛ david a david ayɛ nti ne tamfo yɛɛyɛ a ɔdi david so nkunim woyɛ bɔdamfoɔ kwame damko woyɛ kuraseni mo na moase asanteman sɛ anka monim nyansa wɔ angel fm a anka mo invite akɔ we better respect yɛ hyɛ hwene ho pra sɛ kotrɛ ɛdeɛ na akɔ we anim wɔ onyankopɔn hɔ. And this is how yɛne asantefoɔ yɛde bɛto aba adan a kwame tanko ne ti sɛ two ɔbɛtena hɔ adan a wakɔfa obi abɛto so onyankopɔn nipa na saa nipa no ɔto na ɔne wo kwame tanko di nkɔmmɔ no ɔbɛwu sɛ wo kwame tanko wagyi mi because in the first place ɔde ho ahyɛ wo enti wote hɔ sɛ efie bosom ɛna wadwene a wo sɛ akɔwura ne ho awo sɛ kɔtena ɔne n'anim ghana sɛdeɛ yɛbɛto aba no ɛne na onyankopɔn ɛka kyerɛ no no ade na ambem no wankɔ bɔ nyankopɔn no so bɔ ade na yɛgyi bi saa ade na yɛma radio na yɛbiebie no kwekuten ade na wodi radio sɛ asanteman kwame despite ade na modi radio sɛ asanteman kasbin ade ade na mobɛnya wo asanteman sɛ no mo is this journalism is this how we have to develop the nation? Is this how legitimately we are thinking? Is it how we think? I don't know Kumasi for mama nipa bi Jimmy yasa. I don't know any asantefo yama nipa kwasi afo kuta Bible da yasa. O Pablo Chiaba da abadwedwe ho abofunu ade na nkotena be kwa na yasa o masase nya ne ho. O Pablo Chiaba o person ko bi beda na se na wo yesuman asɛm na yakopɔn ka kyerɛ ɔde sika woyɛ suman and these are simple things ɔmo kasa na 2 minutes bia ɔmo bɔ bible mu a ɔmo bɔ yesu din a ɔmo yɛ yufoɔ akwawe ɛdeɛ paa na wɔmu asase so a ɛhɔ radio station angel fm kwaku tete hɔ sɛ wei na ɛde impuntu abrɛ na baabɔ kwaku tete sɛ wei ɛna amana to nsɛn nyɛ sika wei mu na mode ase asanteman wasɛn nipa yɛ ka kyerɛm na montie onyankopɔn na obie w'ani no saa tam obie w'ani na ɔne ɔbaa na ɛda ɛyɛ ne onyankopɔn obie w'ani ka kyerɛ ɔdare sɛ woebɛwini nanso ɛwɔ sɛ ɔyɛ wei na onyankopɔn no tumi bɛ na ɔwɔ ada na yɛgyi bi na I don't care about this ignorant guy. My worry is Asantefo radio. Asantefo radio top Asantefo radio Asante radio meeting and Asante adani ekurase problems Asante fa wunyina Asante a wayɛ tan Asante obu pie fa Asante obi aso bi ekurase fo ɛyɛ radio T 2023 you sit on radio as a journalist na wakofa kowe and the twachinchini wa be jana say and election or ehu apofunu na nkɔkɔ ka kyerɛ asɛmfo sɛ domain kɔn yɛ ni nyina ma wɔyɛ asɛmfo mo gyimi yɛntimi nti ɛna sɛbio obitumi bɛka kyerɛ sɛ honhom mu nti yɛte asanteme mu yɛsi hospital ma yɛmbie ade a honhom mu nti ɛwɔ sɛ mpp bi ne mmoa ma mo na moase asanteman gyimie no dɔɔso na I don't blame you people. I blame the people who be radio no the mentality the ideology behind the beer radio Kwame despite want to me ɛyɛ kwekutin Kesben ade do mutim nyina sɛ yɛ asantefo yɛ bia radio ɛbɛka asantefo ɛbɛ kata wadwene so ɛbɛ data asantefo na de biara mo yɛ ase a na yɛ ɔmo mama na yɛ kyerɛ ɔmo di ɔmo yɛ wi a na ɔmo sa so yɛ so de ɔmo yɛ ano no yɛ bia radio a de bia no ɛmɛ do asanteme mu a yɛ bɛ look sɛ yɛ nipa kyɛ ɔmo de bia do asanteme mu a ɔmo ma yɛ fans de bia do asanteme mu a ɔmo ntie no kurenti yɛ bɛ mu so mo yɛ kurasefo yɛ wi a akosi yɛ dan wɔn kan it is a toys near home. That is the reason why they put radio together. Idea about the beer radio is Kuffour omnibi. A tribalism with beer radio to protect the NPP's foolishness and one beer radio. Before forgetting, there's nothing in this Asantefo radio, Kumasi radio. The motive behind the radio is momma muhammadi o na MPP ka power na ye hu hia enuana no. That is the end game. Inti uche asantemamu radio debiaro omo pe MPP surrogate wa utumi twatro dodo wa utwatro kese wa utumi hye kasa nachi edada de pa wo no mu hia wo debio mu hia tandamfo. Inti radio no you don't see any intellectualism. Baby o ti ana mo ti da be na o ti so bia radio asantememu am ya betu na se de na kwa buche de bi nsida ekua poki eye radio ya asantefo radio ene otimere na de kwa bia se ene wo se bonkam ene otama ikiti on to je do bia because the motive and the idea and the ideology is say ya asantefo ya ma MPP traso if say MPP free so it is sebio otufo yetu na de so it is not about development, it is about ahimie, kinship, kingdom. That is how radio is. Nakame nyanseni ba na sebio we be radio no patututu kwase oba betan so ka say Ghana na wo nya businessman kokuti kwame that's wo nya businessman 2012 13 14 sibia na mu influence ba no mo checking that it saying how many workers were you people having in 2012 13 14 and how many workers do you have now? How much taxes were you paying for raw materials to produce your things you are producing? One sano and this way no produce no man na mo kana na mo tia say this is common sense. Umenja ijibi no me starting tia say radio ni ebie no ye ebie dia tse Ghana boa Ghana enye de bia na ya santifo enye de bia na pese kokuma se na ni pebi didi car toys ye toy car sechi no mo ye doctor no mo ye kwame eno no enfa hwema eno no enfa bibia ma enye toys car say ye twitwiri Ghana ena kire se ye sika masa obi ti krom ha every second o make more than $200,000 zena mo kakra nya me dia tum nsem no mommra mo ase na mommo aman no na monyi tribe na to nchen mo na masai Ghana and mo na Ghana mo probi manatam radio so a kire obi otwatro kire obi odada santefo kire obi ode kasa ne be dada kofo abotandam eno ene boa mo Kuffour adomaso na mosa propaganda no matantan bi ono so ye Ghana ho Kuffour adomaso sa o so so na akofa ma me beyifo bi na betena ho ekua donko enkwase asam sa o nyanse bi o mo spread o Ghana ho ena mama asantefo da ne nkurasefo ena mama asantema asai ena mo gu asantema ni mase obetunu wa asantema mu at se bio I say jare ya mfa radio ni nya hwe yenya airtime pe na enkwasiade it is asantema against Ghana. There be an opportunity to speak on Ghana's issue to bring development. Now, but then any asantefo any Ghana. Now, Santini Asantini Sebio, where was ya? It was Santini who are there found pay. We are Santini who can get any offer. We are Santini who could took any offer. Who read an offer? Wait to me. Inti, excel no sono, yaba, everybody anta, near the contract was say, you put you in here. Now, it's radio so I don't pay a real and break and quasia pastors and quasia Bible and quasia kaka near Betina and never done Ghana. What's now Bible and yet you put to better was unto me. What's now Bible? It's not a radio so SM Coma Cassia, Casa Mahama Beku, MPs Beku, and NDC hospitals that will come and the motor. Mochoba and esa moyare de ba mo isle gwo kokora na mo na mo abosora na de bia mo coupon so de ndie no moyare na moyare ya no hospital be na moko Madania Santimai Kandam region adijo efiri oba bia ye tro eni ti aba omi aba no betwa mo tro efi se tro na ye mo de ye ka no kwache ma na ma fe mo to ye tro na ye ka no kwache na ma fe mo to anytime ba omi abeda adamu anytime ba omi hu se sebio MPP delegate o magini anytime MPP ya mo sa every say ka no kwache am pe ya ka no kwache na ma fe mo to ya ko cathedral no so me body tofa David Ejay ende onena ehwe Ghana cathedral no sebio ensem akoba nyina se emma me nu bia no do mi adwuma ye inchechemu na be kire se wakọ repi oba ni bi sebio omo chechemu omo say it is alleged, but Financial Times any newspaper kitwa. Now the other people then say, as some by any to David J. Anono, or see a semono, Sikabi a baby more Tia Mano, Sikano Sika say, or the crab ready and a man no nominate, yes, so for Faba South Africa, a year airport. airport yɛsɛ mmaa no mmienu ɛna ɔmo bɛsra no ɔdɔm nyinaa wɔ beebi ɛna mmaa no baa no ɔde ɔsɔ ɔmo bra no hotel ɔmo baa no hotel no ɛna na ɔmo sɔ ɔmo abɔ kakra ɛna mmienu no ɔpɛ sɛ ɔde ɔmo nyinaa da ɛna baako sɛ ɔno deɛ ɔmpene efi sɛ esi pɛn ɔde ne bi ɛwɔ mpena bi twe ɛna baako no pi abɔntene ɛna David J no kɔɔ so ɛna ɔde ɔbaa no daayɛ ɛna adeɛ kyeeɛ ɔbaa no ɔde daayɛ no ɔkɔ frɛ no abɔntene sɛ ɛdeɛ ɔgye sika £770 was again ɛna 4,000 Ghana ɛna ɔde ma mmaa no ɛna ɔsan ne ɔmo kɔɔ South Africa so ɔmo kɔ yɛ adwuma bi ɛna ɔsan kɔkye ɔmo hyɛ bathroom ɛna sɔre kɔ pia ɔmo ɛna mmaa no deɛ ɔmo ano bɔ aburokyi kɔla a ɔmo bɛkaayɛ papa wei na ɔyɛ kronkron na Yesu ti kwasi asɛm nkoa Ghanafoɔ kwasi asɛm nkoa nti ɛnɛ Financial Times na Ghana so asa bɛ report story deɛ na ɔmo ka the UK government department overseeing the Holocaust Memorial and Learning Center in London said it was, and I quote, aware of the allegations and that David Ajay and that Ajay architectural practice, Ajay Associate, had confirmed, said David Ajay will not be involved in the memorial design until the issue raised have been addressed. UK for David Ajay or project with Bra Oye, you can buy in there, and then as some now but David Ajay now OC Ghana Cathedral, Wakoto Monano, allegedly, no Monano opportunity, and the UK for the say, oh, you in some free until say assembly of the Kiri, assembly is like you, but that Nika say, a man on your Diana or no manda. It is unclear how Ajay Associates plans to tackle the accusation or how, as head of the company, Ajay will distance himself from the Holocaust Memorial Project his company is still designing. Almost your mum was David Bayer. So I bet you say, it's assembly in Ghana, oh, what a tough fan. Yanni Ghana for any panel, go find said David J. Already on the draw a year designs are or take a ultimate drawing. On the new designs, we are seeing now, our more tech regime, or beyond twin drawing. David Nakotomona allegation about to say a man you look Wakoto Mona Wakodi Omo Emma Mana Penesuma Wakoto Monama and Yakoni Shema Monana the top of David Kura Airport, South Africa, or Altabu, Yangasam Airport, and Nura Odam, or copy also. In fact, yes, airport, what the other day, you could see and say, Tama or Train or Banukura Airport, so Ombra, no Mura, a year, there's a special bathroom, I see you. Oma omwedi dem kakari ada de hono mugura no e na one person ko chenyi nkora dai pa no o de obari wura horo e na so de man fan shout to aya quick ya de man shout to the plane no ente agwa bodam e ho so we de me na me design Ghana cathedral man shout to 2 minutes na ya nyam fast e na ba so da bi na o tambo airport na so to e na so me na David o e na oba ne say e de ompene e na David e kuhye a oyi ni be ma tu ni se na me church pepa enjoy no huye wie no e no to recipe e no so otilong e no wie into ba de David e want ase e no ga cha abofo e na abofo bi investigation into the bay na Ghana National Cathedral the trustee for the case David dey nyaw mo de mo jiminti konfo obi a wase nyankopo adwuma kora o mo ka bia ye ti Ghana jimi yes nti the more important
Israel decided to be my cornerstone. It is the stone from me. A yachedia, Mondo, Yanto. Be sure. Yanto. Yanto, Israel can say anything. So they pray. Oh, 2019. Yes, 2019. Krama is 5th March. President
but there's stone now you out. And it's different from the
I Nasa
so why that one?
I'll say free Israel didn't.
What is so
Jesus?
Kwasiasam the say anariati. Yes, run apart. By 4:30, 6:30, Ako Babuti Yawo na Yawo Jarukoto the elephant parliament for Aba. Omo yepe na eye community radio for Aba. Edro kwasiasam sa na sofu nemu kika kwasia na diat. David the day na abrofo na de ma amono. Abrofo se da bi wakoto mo na enti omo mpene ma na nyedwuma. Ya da wotete Ghana ehhehye yebo. Yesi cathedral se wonim se so obi pese obo paye na se oni sika obetumi kwasia kika se ya.
We are in contact with
Israel for I NCBA yibiemu ya the first ambassador no okono second ambassador ye starting negotiations ye kobu weni wo na kakra okay aya dia be frying weni wo ne yesi weni wo na mana ye authentic weni wo within a biblical garden it will be $500 ewo Nigeria no be so ko Israel ko bompaye mase entimi twa na ticket I fa no be ko be ba Ghana
do me a favor please
kwasi asem sei ya na ade ate nyanse biye ni mama bre Kuffour enyo na de NHIS bae okogina bebia bie na no se ode na national health insurance mo bona so Kuffour kan kore MPP kan kore MPP candidate bi obegina stage so aka say national health insurance MPP de bae kan say wo bodam unim nyansa wo de NHIS bae hospital be na o see about NHIS no sa na mo de free SHS bae we school we need to be questioning these Mr. P, I will not do the rest. Tomorrow I will continue. My brain. No crana ni acheche muno. Wa want to ask you alright, let me pick 1 or 2 calls. That mean fact ejumadi no embrace yet. About 7 days it's living in Ghana. Whatever was left today, Ochina, Jabetwaso, is very important. Alright. Hello caller. Hello. Good evening. Go ahead. Major kodo miteo me fantina barof fantin de bois e fan de ma